Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. As you saw the thumbnail about Gotdarnit on time. Goddamn time. Talking to Dillian White, he finally signed that contract. We're going to get into that and some other news. But first, let's turn to Welcome back. This is Box Fans Talk TV, and I'm your host, TDT. I don't know what's going on with my equipment, but y'all bear with me. But let's first and foremost, let's get off into the water check. Y'all know every show at the beginning, I ask how much water have you drank. To my Facebookers and folks in the chat, thank you for joining us tonight. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button, like, share, and subscribe button to be exact. Leave comments about the show. At the end of the show, or if you're watching in replay, leave comments about the show so I can know what you feel. Stop reckless eyeballing, come into the house and hit the like, share, and subscribe button when you step into the square circle. Don't just look from your peripheral. Don't just, do the reckless eyeball and come on in. You're more than welcome. All ideas, thoughts, and opinions are welcome. So don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for all my supporters and everything out there. Facebook, because I would love for you to come in the building. Come on in, and when you come in the building, lean on that lazy when you step into the heezy. Anyway, I always like to do a water check. As I said in the beginning of the show, I always do a water check. I advocate for water. I say if you don't drink water hardly ever, the 2 times that you need to drink water, and just 8 ounces, will be in the morning when you first get up. Before you do anything, really, before you let your feet hit the ground, drink you 8 ounces of water. And then at night, before you go to sleep, 8 ounces of water. Do this religiously. Every day. But here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we shoot for 100 ounces. We shoot for 100 ounces a day. Water helps you rejuvenate. When you're sleeping, keep the engine going, because there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of moving parts when you're sleeping at night. rejuvenation, rebooting, recharging, burning the most calories. You're gonna need water to lube all them systems. And when you get up in the morning, it's almost like the engine is turned on to another level. You need water to lube that too. So the 2 times, if you don't drink water any other time, morning, before you put your feet on the ground, 8 ounces, and before you close your eyes at night to go to bed, not laying in the bed looking at TV. I mean, well, you can drink water, but that don't really count. The one I'm saying that must happen is the one right before you close your eyes. That's the one you want to make sure you get your water in right before you go to sleep. So anyway, let's get on with the news. As I stated before, I thought, no, hold on. I jumped ahead of myself. Hold up. I was in the second page of notes. Damn, I didn't know I had this many notes. That's right. The rematch for Joshua and Usyk. I'm gonna get to Dillian and taco meat in a minute, but the rematch to Joshua Usyk may be slated for May or June. That's the longest time that I've seen a rematch clause took outside of Fury and Wilder. But you know why with the Wilder situation, there had to be some court and somebody had to be forced. Don't tell nobody Fury. Had to be forced to enter that fight with Wilder because he didn't want to. But most people do the rematch calls and it don't take this long. I'm gonna say that'll be like a 7-month, 8-month time span. I mean, it's taking a minute. Like they had that fight, I want to say September 25th. And they saying sometime they're slated for May or June. That's a long time. I don't know what the holdup is on that one. Then Eddie Hearn is not sure where he wants to have that fight. It could be in the States, could be anywhere. Eddie always moonlight or try to get with people from the Middle East. He like those folks. I don't know how much money they be greasing his palms with. But Eddie liked the Middle East. He likes it a lot. He likes it. Because every time you turn around with Eddie Hearn trying to put on a fight, especially a heavyweight or some big fight, he always going over there. Like, oh, we could probably get the fight over here. And I'm like, I don't get why he even favors over there. Because if you think about it, the time zone for there and even in Europe, even in UK, is not feasible. It's not I'm just say ideal. And it's damn sure not ideal for over here. So in the States. So I don't get why he always do that. But he's looking over there, even though he prefers for AJ to fight in UK because he's going to get his most fans, he's going to get his most support, and AJ lives off of that. And at least Eddie thinks so or knows so, that AJ needs that fan base to be hoorahing and bigging him up and everything to get his juices going. So Eddie, it's kind of weird. He wants it in the UK, but he's still trying to moonlight or see what he could do over there in the Middle East. And that money must be good. That's all I can say. It must be really, really good because Eddie is forever running over there. And ain't no guarantees, even if they say, yeah, we got the fight, we know that Ruiz and AJ had a fight over there. We made sure we saw it, but Americans ain't gonna be keeping weird hours just to see a fight put on by Eddie Hearn or just to even see AJ Usyk. Damn sure anything Tyson Fury doing. We not gonna keep them kind of hours just to keep up with that shit. But I do want y'all to know that his I know it seemed like it's been a long time. Well, it don't seem like it has been a long time. So, but just so we know, AJ did activate his rematch clause back then, and it is still activated. There's nothing to change about him having that rematch clause. So he has to. I don't know, my eyebrows look out of whack. Sorry. He still activated his rematch. His rematch clause is still activated. Ain't nothing changed about that. And as I say, Eddie favors the UK, but it's shit. If somebody in the Middle East break him off a piece, Eddie, he going over there. So it's about the money. It's always about the money with Eddie. But like I said, he is the one promoter, and I don't mean to big him up. I gotta say this: he's the one promoter that nobody is having a problem with, like as far as getting paid. See, if you're a fighter and you do the deed, you should get paid, right? You should get paid all your money, because that's how you count it. How you gonna make moves in your life if you don't have all your funds? And why should you be invested in what somebody else want in their life? Like, it wouldn't matter to me what person A is trying to do with their company or their life. I'm worried about what I'm doing with mine. Demetrius Bright is in the building. Was popping, King? He says, salute Queen T and fam. You had 64 ounces, King? I'm at 10 bottles as usual. And you know what's crazy, Demetrius? I could be at 7 or 8 by noon. And I just coasted. For some reason, at 7:30, I'm always at 10 bottles. I think in the afternoon, I just don't like drinking water. I don't know what that is. But I always drink roughly 2 or 3 for sure. Sometimes more after I get out the show. Always. So, I mean, I be thinking, I stop counting after this, because I be like, this is my limit. Anything past this is pushing it. So I just everybody getting in seem like gonna be getting in late or something, but I was just talking about the rematch for Joshua and Usyk is looking like it's gonna be slated for May or June. And Eddie is trying to get up with the Middle Eastern people, but he prefers the UK where Joshua can have his fanfare. But if the money good, Eddie ain't turning down no dollars. And that's what I said. Like Eddie do everything. He is strictly like a businessman to me. I ain't say he's the best promoter. Don't get me wrong. Tastes nasty. I tend to get full faster. Me too. I think I'll be reaching my limit by noon, and I just coast 1, 2. I don't know what I be into. It's not like I go and drink nothing else, because even if I want some soda or something, I try to drink that after I get my water intake for the day. I still, I like I tell you guys, if you want to drink whatever, whether it's coffee, liquor, soda, you can drink that stuff. Just drink it after you had your daily regimen or whatever. Or you can eat whatever. Just eat your daily regimen or whatever. And for me, I be feeling like I'm done at noon. But I won't have no soda and nothing. And if I drink sodas, it's at night. I've had a soda, all this time, here and there. But I notice sometimes I just want to sip. And I buy those mini sodas and I put them in my fridge. And then just sometimes I want to sip a soda. But I make sure I've had my water intake for that day. Because, what the worst thing to do is to be dehydrated. And we're going to talk about that Sunday. What brought that on is watching Jaime McGill pass out before his fight this past weekend. That ain't nothing to play with, y'all. I've been there. I've been there. I don't know if having surgeries or getting organs removed set me chronically in that zone, but because I thought I was always drinking. Maybe I was drinking juice or sodas or stuff that wasn't water, like enough water for the day. But at one point in my life, I was chronically dehydrated. It didn't matter how much water I drank, I was always dehydrated. And I'm talking bad, and I'm like in my 20s, like talking like I remember I woke up in the hospital one day. I didn't even know that I passed out because I wasn't drinking enough water on a consistent basis. And it could get like that for anybody. I know y'all said, Miss T, you got a lot of stuff wrong with you. Once one thing is wrong with you, it starts like a domino effect. Any and everything can be wrong with you. An imbalance anywhere in your body is an imbalance everywhere in your body. And that's just how your body functions. And then if you're going through life and nobody tells you what's wrong, so you can't course correct, things just get worse and worse and worse. And that's what happened to me. So take away, if they would have told my mom in the beginning, she suffers, she has autoimmune disorder. We could have worked on things, and my mom could have taught me early in life, like, you are not gonna be able to do what everybody else do. But nobody told her. And then when I was grown, nobody told me. And still, I could have course corrected. And then I'd been telling myself, you cannot do what everybody else do. And I would have course correct. And then all these extra shit to be wrong would have never happened. So I don't want y'all to think I'm just accident prone or something. This one water. But getting back to the news. Rolly is starting to call names against, Tank, besmirching his character, putting him down. You know, the typical Rolly shit. Trying to talk about Tank's character. I don't know. I find it curious that boxers do shit like that. I mean, Rolly is a good shit talker. Let me correctify myself. He's a good shit talker, but sometimes he is a bridge too far. So he'll say something. They be like, you shouldn't have said that. You know what I'm saying? Never should you say that. So he got some learning to do. I'm gonna chalk it up to his youth, but he actually got the talent to be charismatic, have a great mouthpiece, meaning he could sell his fights, because that's what you need. You need that in boxing to be able to sell your fights. This is what we say that we couldn't stand about people who don't talk. Like, a lot of you guys did not like Terrence Crawford because he really didn't talk. He didn't sell himself. It makes people lose interest. You can be charismatic in all kinds of ways, but you want to be, when you're in entertainment, you want to be charismatic in the way of speaking. And Brody has that in abundance. But he is calling out Tank. I just don't like some of the personal names that he does. I don't think he does his self-service by going that route. But, he could talk about the fight. He could talk about Tank's ability in the ring. He could talk about what he about to do to him. And, if you watch Mayweather carefully, Mayweather, you wouldn't hear much about, you didn't even know he was making moves on getting a contract together. And then once Mayweather had the contract, he started talking shit. He never got really, really degrading or too personal. You never heard him talk about a fighter like they was less than, or less than in their abilities, that is. He could crack jokes about how you dress, how much money you never made. He could say shit like that, how your personality is, but he never talk about your abilities or inabilities. Period. Because if you're nothing in that ring, then why are you fighting him? That's what Rolly got to start thinking about. If Tank is nothing and he's no competition, why are you fighting him? You know, boxing fans are smart now. We can ask those kind of questions now, Tank and Rolly. If that person is not up to snuff for your abilities and what you can do, why are you fighting them? So this is what I mean by some of these fighters, they got to get better. They have to have charisma in speaking, but you got to watch what you say. You got to choose your words carefully, even in shit talking. You got to choose your words carefully. And Rolly, he has a lot to learn. Some of the shit talk that he say, I just don't like it. I'm gonna try not to engage going forward reporting unless it's something that just you gotta talk about. I think he trying to drum up interest for their pending match. He was calling Tank like dumb and inferior. Now, see, you opening a can of worms when you go there. What do dumb got to do with it? I mean, don't do that. Ali had to learn kind of the hard way. I don't know how bad it cost him or how he felt about it personally, but isn't that how he was, describing Joe, like whoever he taunted, but he definitely tried to make Joe like an Uncle Tom or inferior. Nobody liked that shit. I never liked that about Ali. That part I never liked. I never liked that, and I never got over it. And it's like, once you do shit like that, how do you apologize? So telling somebody they're inferior to you, are you serious? And with this country's history and it's Black History Month, you gonna tell another black man he's inferior? That's a poor choice of words, Rolly Romero. But that's what he said. Tank is dumb and inferior to him. There's better ways. And I would say this, I'm not buying that shit neither. And it has nothing to do with what Rolly had to say, as I always remind people, because I want to be clear in what I was saying. I'm not buying another PBC fight until that fight card says Spence and Crawford. Not buying another one. That is my little protest. And there's some people who will probably get caught up in these protests that some people doing. I can't tell you as an individual to do what I'm doing, but if you understand and like why I'm doing it, or you have your own reason, feel free to join. The more the merrier. But if you don't, we can still break bread. I don't, I didn't come to this lightly. I'm not doing it because somebody else told me to do it. A lot of people was on that protest bandwagon since last year, and I didn't jump on with them. It wasn't until the Tim Smith interview that is the catalyst that catapulted me into having this protest for me. Because at that point, it's like, how do you be a fan? I don't know how to be a fan of an organization that lies to us, that gives us fights that we don't want to see, and that refuse to be fair with their fighters. How you be a fan? And then for me, like I said, his interview, you had no intentions. You let these men go back and forth with what the things that they were saying. You let the tension build up. You see it building up. You know this is a moneymaker, and you don't want to break bread with this nigga. But Errol Spence is your cash cow. Errol Spence is your top dog, and you don't even want to help him out. You don't want to give him what he wants because you refuse to pay this black man. But you ran here breaking your neck literally trying to puff on Canelo's magic stick to pay him $50 million or $40 million. But you won't pay Earl? That don't make sense to me. So I respectfully bow out until y'all come to y'all senses. And if enough of us do respectfully bow out, they will come to their senses. You know, it ain't our fault y'all over there ucking up money. You know, but back to Rolly and Tank. I'm not buying it because it's PBC. Y'all hear me often say that because I just want to be clear with it. But according to the WBA, who has ordered the fight, they have until 24th of February this month. That's Thursday, to come up with an agreement before a purse bid is ordered. So they got till Thursday, y'all, to do their purse bid. So good luck to them. Somehow or another, you know, I got friends who buy the fights. There's bars to go to. I'm not purchasing shit like I used to. And I used to purchase everything, but not no more. Moving on. So Ugas is making sure we know. Ugas is making sure we know he plans to battle Crawford if he get this victory with Spence. I mean, the full court pressure is on. As he earlier said, that full court pressure. We know that Errol Spence recently, I forgot what fight he was at, but he got in the ring and he was talking about, you know, what his plans are going forward. Now, he wasn't specific. I talked about this yesterday. He did not say a specific name, but he, you know, we know who he was talking about. So, he said, after the Ugas fight, I'm definitely going for that other belt. Something to that effect. We all know that that's obvious. He's talking about Terrence Crawford, but he didn't name no name. He didn't name no sanctioning belt. I don't know why they talk like him and Crawford talk weird as hell these days. But Ugas is out there making sure he letting it be known because he already said, I'm winning this fight. He's already named it and claimed it. And it's not like it's a guarantee that he's going to lose the fight, but he's already named it and claimed it. So if he's winning this fight, then he's trying to let the fans know. And after this fight, I'm making a beeline to Terrence Crawford because he know the fans are upset. They listen to the fans, y'all. They really do listen to us fans because you can tell by everybody's response that they're listening to the fans. You can tell by Crawford's interview over this past weekend that he listens to the fans. You can tell by Earl doing something, you know, here like getting in the ring, saying his intentions that he's listening to the fans, and Ugas is listening to the fans. And so we making progress. We got the fighters at least listening to the fans. Now, this narrative, and this ain't picking on Earl, I said it's for Devin Haney, anybody else that claimed this, because we as boxing fans got to get smart on this one. We got to get this out of our vocabulary. He is his own boss. We have to, no matter who it is. No matter if it's your favorite fighter or the fighter you don't like, let's stop saying that. Because when you're your own boss, you pay for your own way. Okay? If somebody's paying your way, you're not your own boss. So we gonna have to stop saying that. You know why we gotta stop saying that? I think in a small way, it's gonna lead to less confusion of, you know, the narratives that be placed out there, or just it's going to help the fans navigate these boxing streets a lot better when you can pull that from the lexicon or whatever. You can pull that from our vocabulary. I'm my own boss. And there's no, like I said, there is no shade to Devin or Arrow or Canelo or whoever says they have their own promotional company. You're not your own boss. They got caught up in that Mayweather era. What God had for Mayweather, he had for Mayweather. Simple put, whether any of us think that Mayweather deserved it or didn't, what God had for him, he had for him. That don't necessarily mean he has it for you. He has another thing ordained for you in a different way. There would be some overlap, I guess, because it's boxing. Y'all both were in boxing, but you're not gonna have it the way that Mayweather had. Mayweather can say he his own boss because now whether I was paying him or they was getting investors, he had enough money to say I'm my own boss. Devin Haney, when he gets this fight, he ain't putting up his money. And even if he do, he ain't got the kind of money to put up a lot. Not for what George Kambosos wants. Devin got enough to put up his own money for like $500,000 or $600,000 payday for somebody. Or, like a $700,000 or $850,000 payday for somebody. So if Devin were to fight, what's his name, Isaac Cruz, I can see it. And I think 1 or 2 fights he has put up his own money. So there's a modicum of truth when Devin say I'm my own boss. Just a little bit. But when you start talking about big ticket items, he has to turn to Eddie. Eddie is the big daddy. And I think Eddie has said that when he was talking to Teofimo and Teofimo Jr. and Teofimo Sr. He said it, and it's like it went over their head. They wasn't paying attention that much. He basically was letting them know, like, look, yeah, you call yourself the boss. Right, you're right. You can hire people, fire people. I don't get into all that, but nigga, I'm Big Daddy. I'm putting my stank on it. But that's basically what he was saying to him. Look, I come up with the money, so motherfucker bow to me. But that's true. And anybody who don't believe it is lying to themselves temporarily because they don't want that to be the narrative of their favorite fighter. It's true. If I'm the queen of my castle, which I am, it's twofold. I don't own my house outright. I don't have a deed to my house, but I have a mortgage. So in all intents and purposes, when people say, you got a house? Yeah. You own your house? The way they got it set up in America, I could be like, yeah. But let's be real. I fully think that people should have more common sense to be like, yeah, do you really own your house? The way it's set up in America, we could say that and say, I own my house. And, hey, that's how it looks. Salute to Birdman. He said, at Miss T Queen and Demetrius Bright, salute fam. Salute King. But I don't own my house. The bank who I pay that mortgage to, they own it. That car note that I paid that bank to, I paid that note to that bank, they own my car. But the way we are in America, I get that we always say we own it, this ours. But in boxing, we need to stop saying I'm my own boss when you're not. It confuses folks. It makes folks, look at things a certain way. kind of nostalgic. This kind of adds to the mystique of a fighter. It makes people, feel a certain way and be thinking that this fighter deserved this or this fighter deserved that. We got to get out of that. Or maybe that it has to be said, because even though it's clear to me, and I'm sure all of you, y'all know, like, hey, Miss T, I get it, They saying they got their own promotion. We know that they can't be totally in ownership because they got to get money from somewhere else. We get it. But there's a lot of casuals, or just a lot of people, period, that don't or conveniently forget that inconvenient fact. And so I think at this point, we got to take it out of our vocabulary, because it never was something to say before Floyd. We didn't hear fighters talking like that. And then once Floyd started talking like that, here come everybody want to feel like that they their own boss. You got people that may have enough to get a $500 chain that's, as a boxer, and they flossing with hundreds of dollars of jewelry on. They walking around like, I'm my own boss. If you got to turn to your daddy or your mama, whether that's be somebody at a promotional company that you roll with, and be like, can I get some money for this fight? You're not your own boss. Own boss, you pay yourself. You set it up where when the money come in after the fight, it's all coming back to you. That's our own boss. Anybody else got to turn to, like I'm giving examples. Devin Haney has to talk to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn has to come up with money. I'm not saying that to besmirch Devin Haney's character, but it's a fact. This whole time, we trying to do the deal. Well, I said we. We. As a fan, we. But this whole time, Devin and Bill trying to do the deal with Cambosos to get that thing off the ground. But they keep having to include Eddie. Why? Because Eddie got the money. Ain't nothing moving without Eddie. Eddie got the networks. These are things Bill and Devin don't have. So are they really their own boss? They're their own boss compared to a lot of fighters who absolutely have to sign with a promotional company. You can say it that way. They got more leverage. They're on a higher footing than those guys. But own boss? No. And I said to myself, you know what, T, I'm going to stop looking at people like that. I'm going to stop saying that about people, because it's just adding to the confusion and the mystique of what we think a fighter should and should not have, or what we think a fighter should or should not do. Because if you not putting up your money, you ain't in total control of nothing. You still have to ask, can you do this? And that can even go so far as to ask, who can you fight next? I mean, let's keep it a buck. So Errol Spence, he's not his own boss, and that's not a hit against Earl. He's on a better footing than the majority of the fighters in boxing, period. He is not signed to a promotional company. So what that tells me is he seriously cut out the middleman, which is a good thing. Because what you really need a promotional company for, name the promotional company that actually promote and do work. We know Bob don't be doing that shit. I can tell you 2 occasions. We know he definitely didn't do it with Terrence Crawford several times over. And I went to the fight with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. That shit sold itself. I don't see nothing that was done out of the ordinary on Bob's end. That sold itself. And I went to the fight in Atlanta to the Shakur Stevens. No, he did not promote that. You in hot Atlanta, chocolate motherfucking city, and you couldn't sell that fight, Atlanta people come out for everything. Everything. You could have had a low budget fashion show, and that stadium would have been piled. It would have been piled up, but no. People after the fight, and we noticed how much room and how that stadium. Wow. To be fair, I don't think it was half full at all. It could be half or less. The State Farm Arena, and they can hold a considerable amount of people. It wasn't even half full. But people who like boxing were there because they knew. All they had to do is call them damn radio stations, put up some flyers or something downtown, go advertise at, I think it's called Georgia Tech. It's right downtown Atlanta. Just go to that one college and be like, you know, hit up all the colleges in Georgia, period. Because all of them, eventually, everybody from different colleges in Georgia will go to Atlanta. That's like everybody anywhere in Georgia will always wind up in Atlanta for something. And I told you have a low budget fashion show that Lily and them put together, and guess what? Atlanta gonna show up. But they didn't show up for Shakur Stevens, knowing all these different celebrities was gonna be there and shit. So no, Bob doesn't promote. Mayweather, I mean, he might promote a little, but not really. He really only promote the one person he liked. Then what do Oscar do? They try to catch leverage and you know, strategically place his fighters. He doesn't promote. Poetic wavy youth of common sense. What's up, King? He said, hey, what's up? What's up to you? This, I'm my own boss for our sake. So that we don't look at our fighters funny. So that we don't be at each other's neck against, you know, picking this fight over that fighter because we think, you know, we need to stop saying it. I'm going to stop saying it. He said, all these promoters be lame. Indeed. They do not do Earl a service. They do not do Devin Haney a service. They do not do Terrence Crawford a service. I can go on and on and on. They don't do, especially black fighters, a service. And they ain't. Why should they? They don't have to. Because all we got to do, you know what this rivalry of Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence remind me of? It remind me of the old dark skin and light skin adage. All you got to do is convince the black person who's a little lighter or is more fair that they're better than or superior to the black person who's darker, and put the darker person in the field and just give a little bit more credit to the lighter one. I swear to God, when I think of that rivalry, I think of that. I know most of you haven't, but I'm a deep thinker. I be thinking on them terms because that's what it look like. The argument, the rivalry, that's what it seemed like. It's also a part of a Southern strategy. If you can convince the lowest ranking white man that he's far superior than the highest ranking black man, you will always maintain power as a people. Like my white folks. And I didn't say that. Lyndon B. Johnson said that about his own people. That's what this looks like. But it comes from people bragging about shit they ain't got. Remember that Salt and Pepper rap? Don't brag about the shit that you ain't got. Don't feed me bull. No, what he said? Don't feed me cow because you know I'm full. Oh no, my cow just died. I don't need no bull. Mama ain't wait a minute. Mama ain't sounds nice. Check one. Y'all remember that song? I totally messed it up. That was my joint. When Salt and Pepper first came out, my mic sounds nice. Check one. But she basically said, don't feed me something because my cow just died. I don't need no bull. I gotta go back and listen to it. But anyway, basically stop feeding us the bull and then expecting us to run with it with some common sense. And we're not. Collectively, we're not. We be sitting up here mad because Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence did not make the fight. Because the whole time we're thinking Earl is man down, which he's not lying. He has man down production, but Terrence is caught up by signing with Bob, and so motherfucking hands are tied. Now Terrence is not signed with Bob. What's the problem now? And now we see the Tim Smith interview. That woke me up to a lot of things, believe it or not. But I don't want to duck off into that too much. But I would just say I think we all should change our narrative. But I do see here lately that Errol and Ugas is trying to put a push, or they're trying to hit that pressure button to get interest for their fight. They're getting off their ass to try to make interest for their fight. They know there's a lot of people out here like me, like others, who just boycott fights, period. They don't need a special reason. For me, I tell you over and over again what it was for me. Tim Smith. He let the cat out of the bag for me. So all that optimism and hope that I was carrying went out the window. So, Ugas is out there like, yo, after I whooped Spence ass, this is Ugas saying it ain't T. After I be victorious with Spence, then I'm mosey on right on over there to Bud. Look, so y'all should rock with me because I'm about to put a hurting on your boy. I'm just adding all this extra stank. Ugas didn't say it like this because, one he can't say it. Ugas, you got to learn some English, dog. Your language is sexy. We love your culture. Nothing like that, but it's just, you're talking to people who speak English. You got to get with us. You got to rock with us if you want us to spend the money. But he was like, I'm making a beeline straight to your boy. That don't mean shit to me because I don't believe it. And you are very fortunate that Earl chose you as a dance partner, because if he didn't choose you, you was making a beeline to Stanionis. No Vaseline, and you didn't have any choice in the matter. So just because you win these belts, that ain't gonna mean shit. What power you gonna have? The same power that Errol Spence has, which is nothing. The same power that Bud has, which is nothing. So I just want y'all to be able to decipher through this full court pressure that they are putting on the folks, the boxing fans, as of late. Like, don't get your gander up. Don't get it up. Don't be fooled. Birdman said, Ugas all cap. He has no way in hell his sparring partners have a better chance to laugh out loud. Spence gonna eat on his happy ass in Ugas. Yeah? As in Ugas. I think Spence gonna tear him up. Now, I will tell you this. The test will be his eyes. That's gonna be the test for me. Can his eyes hold up? Because I believe differently when it comes to that injury than a lot of people. I'm not wishing nothing on him. Y'all know for months I've said that Spence need to wait a whole year. That was me. That was Miss T. I've been told, Miss T, you acting like a mama right now. Probably am. I mean, all the medical shit I'd have been through, you would think I know the human body and how it functions. And I'm just telling you, injuries like that don't heal quick. Now if he's 1 in a million, then hell, he's 1 in a million. But you can go look at any other fighter who talked about those type of injuries and see what they say, or who had those type of injuries and what it do to them. Matter of fact, go ask Corey Spinks. He was a welterweight. Who better to ask than another welterweight who had that same problem? And Corey Spinks was undisputed. Well, ask him. I forgot who got the undisputed in the welterweight division after him. Y'all help me out. But it was somebody. Shit. It wasn't Floyd. Fuck. Damn. Who was the last welterweight undisputed champion? Cause see, my head gonna say Corey Spinks, but it was somebody after him, and it escapes me. I can't think of it. Damn. If y'all can think of it, let me know. But Corey Spinks wasn't too far behind. L Dub is in the building. He said, "Hey, Miss T. Hey, King." L Dub, who was the last undisputed welterweight that got it off of Corey Spinks? Zab. It was Zab. He said, "I got you." Then he says it was Zab. He beat Spinks. Okay. Damn, Zab, boy. I don't know why that doesn't register. But I knew it was somebody else. For the longest time, I thought it was just Corey Spinks. But you guys can go back and watch what Corey Spinks had to say about people who have that type of eye injury. He was a welterweight, and he had that same, eye injury. And he did an interview on was it damn, it's not Blue Blood. Damn it, I just drew a blank. He used to come in here all the time. Drew Titan. He did an interview. He had a panel, and he had Corey Spinks on there, and they was just talking about they ducked off into that part of the conversation. So when the Ugas and Spence fight comes up, that's what I would be looking for. Now, I told you I'm not buying this PBC. I'm not doing PBC no more. But I have my ways. I'll get to the fight. But yeah, you gotta hear what other folks say, or people who actually been through that type of injury, what they got to say about it. When I was looking at the Khan fight and Kell Brook fight, I was looking to see if his eye was gonna hold up. He definitely had more time to fully heal, because what has been almost 2 years since he fought Bud. Talking about Kell Brook, seemed like it's almost been like 2 years, and I wanted to see was his eye gonna stand the test of time. And then you have Khan. I wanted to see, can you reprogram a chin? And the answer is no. And I was talking about that yesterday. So that's what I'm trying to glean when I watch Ugas and Spence. They are doing the right thing by getting out here trying to publicize or gain interest in the fight. They got to have to do something more. I don't know what they gonna have to do. I don't think a lot of people is gonna get that fight, and it's not just because it's Earl. It's for, like, a lot of people is not fucking with the PBC these days. It is what it is. See, I got this thing I always say: respect my black dollars. When they get in my hand, they black dollars. You have to respect it. Like I will respect your white dollars, brown dollars, or whatever. I'm going to respect them. But if you don't respect mine, I just keep it to myself. I'll keep myself to myself. You know what I mean? But Ugas, once I saw him get out there and try to jump on the mic, he tried to A 1 2, a 1 2. Can y'all hear me? I like to introduce myself. My name is Gotdarnit Ugas, and I want you guys to pay attention and buy this fight. I'm telling you, I'm coming for your boy. He's in trouble. I'm gonna beat up Spence. That's easy work. But then I'm coming for your boy Crawford, and I'm gonna knock him down, and I'm gonna be undisputed. Holla at me. I just put all that stank on it, but that's what he basically trying to say. I think it's cute. I like to reintroduce myself. That's what he doing. That is what he doing. So, too late. I'm gonna be on the couch like, where the remote? In my Cedric voice, where the remote? But yeah, Ugas, he doing what he's supposed to do. It's just unfortunate him and Earl. Keith Thurman was caught up in this. I didn't buy the Keith Thurman fight, and I wasn't. Y'all heard thus far what the numbers were. A lot of people are not playing. Y'all don't respect black dollars anyway. I'm talking about these boxing promoters sanctioned by. Y'all think it's enough Mexicans paying for enough shit that's gonna carry everything boxing. So, and according to them, the richest people outside of white people are Mexicans. Because these fights cost money. You know what I'm saying? And according to them, only Mexicans buy fights. Even though they want to negate the fact that the black consumer is what keeps this economy going, period. Mexicans have big families, and they don't tend to keep doing something over and over again. Individually, sure. Black people spend more in the economy than any other group in America. Had it not been for us, this economy would have been belly up so many times over. But you listen to these narratives that we got to get out of our vocabulary, as if Bob Arum breaks bread with regular black folks. He breaks bread with people who can make him rich, and that's it. Outside of that, I don't think Bob breaks bread with black folks. I'm not saying Bob is a racist like that. He's probably more racist when it comes to money and unfairness and shit. Or when, however, he get over so much, he can't let that hustle go. He can't never just hang it up, and he's too old to course correct. So we have to respect his age. We don't have to like the man who is that age. But there's really nothing you can do. There's nothing going to change between here and when he meet his maker, because he's 90 years old. He's been doing this for all his life, and this is how he see it. So he set us on the course we at right now. And Spence and Ugas needs all of our support, but they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it from me. They're not going to get it from a lot of people. I refuse. Now, this is why I say we got to get rid of this I'm the boss in your vocabulary, because check it out. If Spence is the boss, then why he don't put up his own money? And then the other question I have, see, this is how deep I be thinking. And the other question I have is, if Bud had came to a point, because I'm hearing the rumors that Bud is going to sign with PBC to get it over with, because that's the only way he's probably going to get these fights that he wants. But if he don't, and he come up with his own investment, is Spence then still the A side? Because right now, I said Spence is the A side. I know y'all didn't think I was going to say that, but I've been saying it. Even though I'm Bud 10 toes down every day of the week and twice on Sunday, Spence got the most hardware, and that's what it come down for me. I could care less about money, how much money he makes. If Spence and Ugas do 20,000 buys, now think about it. These are two Black people. You think Mexicans are clamoring for this fight? You think they gonna buy it? You think they really gonna buy it? They're not. It's possible Spence could come back with 20,000 pay-per-view buys. We'll know. First time we'll know because they're gonna be hesitant about dropping them numbers. They're gonna try to inflate the numbers. It'll probably be like 20,000, but then they'll probably say, nah, it was like 60. Or maybe they'll do it high enough where it's neck and neck with Bud. You know, people ain't buying this fight, though. He's not gonna sell. But it's not totally his fault. It's a combination of folks' fault. But namely, right now, I think it's PBC fault. I think they're mad at something bigger. It's bigger than Nino. It's bigger than Spence. It's bigger than Terrence Crawford. It's bigger than Ugas. It's what the PBC be serving up to us time and time again, as if they don't respect our black dollars. Well, okay, you don't respect it. We'll find another way, and we'll duck off in the back. We'll fall back, but we ain't gotta help you out. This is what a lot of people are thinking and feeling. And matter of fact, you know, when I would buy another PBC fight, I told y'all when Earl and Bud have that card, but it's gonna be to the minute of like if the fight started at 9, the undercard of that thing, then I'm buying it at 9:05. I'm buying it at 9:05, and between 9 and 9:05, I'm looking at my phone, looking for breaking news. That the fight is canceled or somebody been replaced or something like that. Mm-hmm. Not a minute soon. And I feel like I can go forever with it, you know. I don't want to be like this, but hey, just remember you forced me to do it. All these old school raps jumping in my head. Goddamn hoe, shut the fuck up. Y'all remember that song? Here we go again. PBC, it's all on you, dog. But Spence and Ugas can advertise and promote to their heart continue. They always come back to PBC. This is who the boxing fans are mostly mad at. They're not really. Some will be mad at Spence. There will be some people that ain't gonna buy the fight because they're Bud fans. It just is what it is. When Bud fights, Spence fans don't buy his fight. It is what it is. But that's not the bulk. That's not gonna make or break pay-per-view numbers. People not buying his fights because it's PBC. They ain't just mad at the Bud and Spence problem, or the Spence and Ugas. They mad at all the fights. They mad at Keith Thurman and Barrios. People, you hear people on the internet, they'll say, we didn't want this motherfucking fight. People mad at that fight. They mad at all these fights. So it's bigger than Nino, as I said. So Ugas, shout out to you for getting up, trying to do your best. I see you, King, but we ain't trusting it. Spence, we see you coming out your comfort zone. You took your little daughter, kind of like on a father-daughter hangout day, and you actually climbed in the ring. Shout out to you for speaking. I see you, King, but we ain't trusting that neither. Terrence Crawford, you was out there being diplomatic. You know I love you. I told you yesterday you got black support. Don't ever let whatever's happening in these boxing streets make you think that you ain't got black love and black support, because you got it all. You got it in abundance over here. I know so many people that love Terrence Crawford. It ain't funny. That's what I gleaned from his interview that he did yesterday. So I know that he talking specifically about folks he talking about But and I didn't take it as a jab at all black people at all. I think he was more specified. He didn't say it because he's not trying to be controversial. But I see you speaking too. I might not like everything you're saying because you're kind of falling back on what we already know and what we already had claimed happened. But you're being diplomatic, and I can never be mad at somebody who does that and try to meet people in the middle, because that is the way to be. You know what I'm saying? Even when you don't really have a reason to want to meet in the middle, but you're doing it, and I gotta commend you for that. So I hear all three of you kings speaking. That is Bud, that is Spence, that is Ugas. I hear you guys, but it's too late with PBC for one thing. And the next time when y'all finally get y'all shit together and y'all make that fight, y'all come back and holler at us. It's for y'all to do. If you are the boss, show that you the boss. Whoever put up the money is going to be the A side, period. In my book, you don't put up no money, you ain't the A side. Y'all got millions in the bank. You don't think a bank would invest in you? Give you a loan just so you can have a fight? Knowing they're going to make that money back triple-fold? Because that's a black-on-black crime right there. Or a black-on-black fight that's going to make its money. And that's Spence and Crawford. That shit gonna sell. Ugas and Spence? Probably not. I don't think so. I don't really think so. Nothing against either one. It's just, nobody was expecting that. Nobody wanted that. It is what it is. But keep, trying to promote or whatever. I don't begrudge you. And again, I don't tell anybody, you got to do what I do. If you want to join Boxing Fans Talk TV and her protest, you are more than welcome. The more the merrier. If you don't, you don't. I told you why I do it. I will always continue to tell you why I do it. But why you do it has to be your reasons. So there you have it. Josh Taylor believes he can defeat Spence and Bud. Y'all want me to tell you why he believes that? Now he's joining in. He's weighing in on the I guess hopefully pending fight between Bud and Spence, and he's saying that Bud will win easily. Pretty much he could beat Spence. He'll defeat Spence, but then he throws in the caveat that Josh Taylor himself, can beat Bud. So if you can beat Bud and in your opinion Bud can handle Spence easily, then you basically saying you can beat Bud and Spence. So I pose the question, what y'all think about that? Like, that's crazy talk. I don't know what's up with Josh Taylor. Well, you can't take some people nowhere, can you? He didn't win undisputed, boy. He talking outside of his neck. But I don't think he can be either one of them. And hopefully neither one of them, to include Ugas, is not focused on him right now. Now, I will tell you, I will say this to you, and y'all mark my words, and y'all probably hear it first here. Josh Taylor it's very possible that he gonna throw a monkey wrench in Bud and Spence shit. I'm telling you. You already see it turning. That Bud trying to be diplomatic. Spence is starting to talk, and Ugas. So they don't want their business to fuck up, and they know fucking each other up is fucking it up, right? They want that fight because they know we ain't playing with this shit. They just saw what happened to Keith Thurman, and contrary to what a lot of people believe, even though you don't like Keith Thurman, white people like Keith Thurman. Mexicans like Keith Thurman. Women like Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman didn't do great numbers like he could have. Keith Thurman is money in the bank, guaranteed. Don't care what nobody say. He got the look, the charisma, and the mouthpiece. Something that Bud don't have the charisma, or Spence don't have the charisma. They don't talk. They both have the look, but they don't have like the 3-piece. You know what I'm saying? PGH Big Dog is in the building. He says, salute Queen T. Salute to you too, King. Birdman says, salute at PGH Big Dog. So Keith, we showed you. We mean all of us had different agendas, but all of us showed you. And we tired of the shit. You know, we showed y'all. Let me get my thing on here. Let me say this. Hold on. I know I should have been more prepared. I kind of messed that up, but I should have been more prepared to say this. But we over here like, okay, we waiting on everything. Let me see, I made it small. We waiting on everything to go down. And Keith, I was shocked. I don't know about y'all, but I was shocked. And I'm telling you, Keith crossed the border who he sell to. If you listen to Bob Arum and some of these promoters, black people fighting black people is not gonna sell money. And if you think about it, back in the day, what is that noise?
It's me.
Girl, you better get out of here with that.
I just needed water.
Okay. Sorry. But if you think about it, when Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and all them, that was black on black, right? That shit was selling. We let these people tell us something that's not true, and we take the narrative and run with it. You know, we are the biggest consumers in America across the board. Consuming any and everything, clothes, shoes, food. We are the biggest consumers. Products, not Mexicans, not whites, not other foreign people that come here. Black Americans. Keith got all of that in one package. But a lot of people won't buy it because a lot of people didn't like Keith. I didn't buy it for my reason with the PBC. Other people didn't buy it because they didn't ask for Barrios and Keith Thurman. But then that goes back to the PBC bullshit. And I think Earl and Bud and Uga see the writing on the wall. We're not playing with y'all. We're not playing with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of this shit. This is bullshit. I try to get it in there. I'm tired of this shit. This is bullshit. Alado. I think they see the writing on the wall. Contrary to what people thought, but was to me, looking at the numbers, he was the highest paid welterweight for years now. He wasn't so dumb after all. He was the highest paid. All of them are millionaires. I don't know about Ugas, but he got some change. This house look bigger than mine. And remember yesterday when DJ asked me, he said, MST, are you going to the Shakur fight? I said, is it in Atlanta? Because, you know, I live close to Atlanta. He said, no, it's going to be in Vegas. I said, well, you know, he ain't there yet to make me get on the plane. Now, even though he's fighting Valdez. And listen, that is going to be an awesome fight. That's a fight worth buying, right? But I'm not. If PBC got anything to do with it. If PBC, and I have to be at PBC because they were the ones to, I mean, it's just kind of fucked up on all levels what they doing. And then, but how they was treating your boy Terrence Crawford, my boy Terrence Crawford, that was enough for me. Being that I'm one of his biggest fans, that was enough for me. whole boxing industry is on that BS, not just PBC. Please don't go full blown Fred on me. I'm not. No, I'll take it one at a time. It's like I did a video a while back, y'all. It was actually a good video. And I was talking about all this corruption. And I was talking about how just the boxing scene. And I would say, do we throw the baby out with the bathwater? Not that person. I'm a person that like to compromise, meet in the middle, be diplomatic. Even when you talking to a brick wall, so to speak, you still have to use some kind of diplomacy. That is how I believe. That is what I believe. That's why I'm in the political party that I'm in. You know, me and Fredo alive with everything because I'm a straight Democrat. I know if people don't want to talk to you because of whatever party you pick, that's just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? But I roll with the underdog. I pick what I pick or try to fight for things bigger than me or better than me. Because, like, you know, especially like in politics, it doesn't matter what team wins. T is winning. I have done everything I could do for God and country. I'm getting mines no matter who is coming in the office. Matter of fact, I probably get more if Republicans went in. Why? Because they like to appease, you know, or cater to the military. But it don't matter. I know this. See, I look at the big picture. You can't have a few at the top and everybody else is at the bottom. Because now people are destitute. So how far you gonna go and have fun in this life of luxury that you carved out for yourself when everybody, once you walk outside your door, is hurting? And you think they're gonna respect your boundaries? Destitute people don't do that. Destitute people take. I wish I had that damn video when Tupac was talking about, he was trying to give an example. He said, we see all these people in the hotel or whatever, we out here hungry and there's all this food. He started describing the food. He was like, they got this, they got that, and you know, we trying to be nice or whatever, we hoping they would give us some or share. Because he basically he always preached, America is the richest country in the world. We should not have poverty on the level that we have, and that's a fact, right? So he's saying he looking through the door, and it's like they knock on the door, and they say, "Hey, we hungry, we want to eat." And of course, the door gets slammed on them. They knock again, and then they be like, they're gonna pick up their singing, "We hungry, we want to eat." Y'all stop me if y'all heard this or seen this video clip. And then he said they did it so many times, but he said it's gonna be just a matter of time before they busting through the door, waving the 4-4, spraying niggas down. That's what Tupac said. That shit is true. Destitute people don't care what you got, because they ain't got. Hurt people. So I'd rather have people in office. I don't know how we ducked out to politics, but just in general, just how I make my decision, I'd rather have a fair playing board no matter where I go. And when it comes to politics, I'd rather have people in office that show that they're going to try to be for the common man, than rather for to have people in office that tell you and show you who they for. You know, I love Fred to death, but maybe he's Republicans because they don't pay taxes when you're rich. Maybe that's why. Let's see, y'all can follow that. You can follow that idea, but are you gonna get a break? Because if you're poor or you're middle class, you gonna get it with no Vaseline. But Fred gonna be good because he rich. So PGH, that's what I mean. I don't follow everything. But on that BS too, he just blamed black fans for fight not happening. He sound delusional. See, that's all about interpretation. He didn't name anybody specifically. And see, and I said this yesterday, PGH, as far as I'm concerned, King, he ain't talking about me. He not. He can't be. I've always been supportive of Bud. This is Bud country over here. Bud is talking about certain folks that are content creators They know who they are, and he know who they are. But we can't act like we're gonna put that whole jacket on everybody. He just didn't call no name. He's being diplomatic. He really is. He's trying to turn the corner. It seemed like to me somebody that got in his ear and said you can catch more flies with honey. Now, one guy on the show yesterday said that he thinks that Bud is about to sign this multi-million deal with PBC for 2 or 3 fights or something like that, because it's the only way he's going to get these fights with people like Errol Spence or Charlo, because they all with PBC. If that happens, then you can see the change around. And not to mention, Bud has that pending case. And now maybe they should start, as I said yesterday, reading people the Miranda rights when you have a suit. Just even with a suit. I know you get that read to you when you get arrested, but what about when you have a pending suit? Because you know why? Everything you say can and will be used against you once you have a suit on the table. And I think Bud has to be cognitive of that. So all it sounds like to me is that he was capitulating, and he was humbling himself, or he was trying to, getting more flies with honey. But nobody, if you're really thinking about it, PGH, can say that he put that jacket on all black fans. He put that jacket on fans. People who say they his fans, but talked about him like a dog. That's who he putting that jacket on. Because he said content creators. I wish I'd have had the actual interview. He said something about content creators, and how this. He just talking about how this whole rivalry is to this day. It's so bad. Like, if I like Bud, I gotta hate Spence, and I don't feel that way. And Bud been watching me. If he been watching me all along, because he said he see everything. We love you, Bud. I do. I met you twice. I met you in 2015, and I met you last year at the Shakur fight. You are a perfect gentleman. You are an excellent boxer. I can't say enough good about you. I'm Team Crawford over here next to Deontay. This is Bud Country at Boxing Fans Talk TV. However, I will always be factual, actual, and I can be non-biased. But, it's just like if you guys say, fuck you, bitch, you wouldn't make me mad. This is what you answer to. I don't answer to that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I call myself a bitch. I'm like, girl, bitch, gotta get her. It's all about how you saying it. Are you saying it in the form of a term of endearment, or people can tell by your tone and delivery how you saying it. And for me, all them rap songs, I don't like it, because I know everybody is not gonna think like me. And trust me, I'm not getting a big head when I say this, but everybody is not gonna think like everybody. I can hear them songs and be like, shush, and keep it moving, and it don't affect my life. But you have other young girls that hear that song and adapt to it and flock to it and think that that's how life is. That's how you should be referred to. That's how you should be treated. It's what you answer to. So, no. Bud know who he was talking to. I see exactly what he doing. Straight up. I can see. He's a smooth operator. He's a smooth operator. I do think he should stick to what narrative he ever had, because anything that he said in that interview, it does not negate anything that I've said about either one of them and how I feel today. Y'all know that as of today, I feel like Errol Spence ducked him. That's just how I feel. It's not the end of the world. I don't think Errol Spence. Now, the weirdest thing is, most of the time when people duck somebody, it's because they're scared. But in this particular case, I don't think it's out of fear. But I certainly think he ducked him. Not fear of Bud. Let me say it like that. I don't think it was ever fear of Bud, whereas other people duck people. I think is fear of their of that fighter. But with these two, I don't think either one of them is scared of each other. And I've said that several times over too before I made this decision. But there's no way that I can look at what Tim Smith said in his interview and or negate what Tom Brown said in his press conference before the Porter fight with Bud. When he said, if the fight don't happen, pretty much, I'm paraphrasing, if the fight don't happen, it's the fighter who made that final decision. Because if the fighter said, I want the fight goes on. That's what TGB said. And he is the one who come up, do the funding and all that for the PBC. This is where Earl gets his money from. That's what he's saying. And Crawford said, hey, reverse that. So that interview that Crawford did, it don't negate that interview. And that interview that Crawford did this weekend, it doesn't negate what Tim Smith said. Because he always said, hey, we ain't got no money for Bud. We'll never pay him. We won't interested in him from the past, the present, or the future. That's all I need to hear. PGA said Spence is doing what he said he was going to do. Get all the belts and then take Bud's belt. No lies detected. But Ugas was not on the roster. Ugas only got on this roster that you could say, legitimately, that Ugas is on the roster as of July when the WBA pronounced him the legitimate champion. Because up until then, he was the champion in recess, and he only had got that a few months before that. So then you have to say, why the Mikey fight? Why the Danny fight? I don't know if you saw my video, PGH, and it's good discussion. It's good. I respect what you're saying. I don't want nobody thinking that they can't say what they say and what they believe, and then I'm gonna lose my cool. No, I'm not that kind of fan. But I showed the video where Spence said, and this is, you could tell Bud is coming to the 147 division. Spence said, go and get Jeff Horn belt and then come holler at me. That was the stipulation. And then when he said, let me clean up my side of the street, let me take the easy route. He said it, this is Spence words. Some years later, let me clean up my side of the street. Let me take the easy route. Now, at this time, Bud did what he said do at first. Get the Jeff Horn belt and then holler at me. But then it turned from get that belt, holler at me, to let me take the easy route and let me clean up my side. And then he named some specific names, Sean Porter being one. Udanis Ugas was not a champion. He was not a champion when he said that. So after Sean Porter, the B line should have been Bud, not Mike, not Danny Garcia. Birdman said, I believe Bud Duck. There you go, player. PGA's Big Dog said Crawford blamed Aram, Spence, and black fans. He needs to blame himself for doing trash business. But I mean, that's the narrative, PGA said. I think people see it that way. I just said, again, I have much respect to your opinion, and to anybody want to say, Demetrius, I respect your opinion too. Everybody, Birdman, no, he knows me, and I know him, but I don't see it like that. Crawford is blaming Aram for his part that he did. Bud cannot sue PBC. They don't have to give him a fight. But we know that they also didn't want to do a fight with Bud. So now you got Aram, who wasn't trying to honor Crawford's wishes by getting him the fight that he wanted. And then you got PBC, who wasn't working to try to get Crawford what he wanted. Now, I'm supposed to believe, now this is the part that's not cleared up for me yet, but I'm leaning more to what I think, which is I'm supposed to believe the PBC, the one Earl works for, because man damn my ass, I just spent the better part of this show talking about the fact that people call themselves their own boss, but you can't be when you're spending another man's money. You can't be your own boss. So no shade to Earl, no shade to Devin, no shade to anybody, even Floyd, whoever. If you ain't spending your own money, you're not the boss. That's just common sense to me. But so I'm supposed to think that PBC and what Tom Brown said, that if fights don't happen, it's really the fighters, not the promotional company. So I'm supposed to believe that Earl Spence did not know at all that PBC had no intention of ever giving Crawford an opportunity for a fight. And y'all gotta think about that one. Let that marinate a little bit. And then you guys tell me what you think. I'm interested, because for me, there's no way I can see it like that. Andrew Charles, because if that's the case, then PBC has been doing a disservice to Earl Spence. You let this man go around trying to answer questions and do this and do that, and you got his hands tied behind his back. Y'all are making him look like a fool. I'm talking about PBC making Earl look like a fool. If that is the case, if Earl did not know at all PBC's stance on it. So Andrew Charles said people do full psychological breakdowns on every syllable that comes out of Bud's mouth, but accept anything they hear Spence say. I hear you, King. Andrew Charles says, salute Ms. T and my bros in the chat. Yeah. I think what it is when I was talking about, we got to get out this, like, prime example, I was talking earlier, some of you guys missed it. I said, look, we got to stop talking about people saying that they're their own boss. We as fans got to stop that. We got to stop that, because it leads to other narratives. It leads to nostalgia and mystique and how we feel about these fighters, and then we fighting battles that is moot, that we shouldn't even be fighting. Why? Because they're not their own boss. None of them. Bold and understanding is in a building. Was popping, King. He said, salute Queen T. PGH Big Dog said, Bud just talking nonsense. He's suing Bob Arum, trash black folk fans, doing TikTok videos in the damn ocean. Make the fight, Bud. But Bud, remember, it's the B-side. This is what I mean by, for me, these are the things that I factor. He's suing Bob because Bob breached the contract. Everybody should be so bold as to fight for fairness and fight for what's yours. If you owe me $1 million, or one of them is $1 million, the other part is 4.5. That come out to about like $5.5-6 million. I need that. I'm not gonna let you ride with that. I got to have that. I don't care how much millions I got. I can't let you do that to me. I will suspect that everybody else feel the same. If you think about it, approximately the whole suit that Bud trying to get is $10 million. If you think about it, I think $6 million is his pay. I think the rest amounts to attorney fees and court fees. If Bud was being greedy and scandalous and malicious or had malicious intent, I think he would have sued for more than that. Now, whenever you sue somebody, there's always the potential of getting more. Now, Bud is doing it right because he asked for a jury trial. Bob does not. It's not in Bob's interest best interest to have a trial period, because then things become public record. And I talked about this yesterday. Disney is the big fish in this whole thing with Bud, Bob, and ESPN. Disney is. And Disney can put ESPN on his ass. In fact, Disney is thinking about rethinking some situations with ESPN. Disney they can lose ESPN and still be the creme de la creme that they are. ESPN can't lose Disney. Bob cannot lose ESPN. Talk about big fish all the way down to the guppy. Bob is the guppy. Bob cannot be engaging in business dealings that will tarnish or put a bad name on Disney. When them books open and they see that racism or whatever, people can say all they want. Well, you can't prove outright racism. You can always prove racial bias. That is the easiest one to prove. Yes, racism in itself is hard to prove, but racial bias is very easy to prove. And I can give you one instance where we all know, what we all heard. There's so many instances. We all heard over and over the different people talking about the no black fighter policy that Bob had. You shouldn't have a policy like that. Boxing is open to everybody. You cannot have a business where you get any kind of government assistance or your funds come from any kind of government entity or they cross paths and you be engaged in that type of shit. I'm telling y'all, you cannot do that. That's how you get the federal charges and shit, or you get the government putting their boot on your neck. They don't do that shit. That's number one. Number two, Pacquiao is no secret that Bud wanted Pacquiao. Now Bob got to explain to them why he didn't give it. Because he wasn't giving Bud the fights that he wanted, this is what made Bud put in his contract, look, when you don't get me the Earl Spence fight, or if it's specifically Earl or whatever the one that sorry y'all, I saw that. If it's I don't know if it's specific to Earl Spence or just in general. If you don't get me the fight that I want, you have to pay me $1 million extra. What prompted Bud and Bomac and them to negotiate that into the contract? Why? Because you've been asking for Pacquiao for years. Now you gonna tell me what is the problem? Why you couldn't get Pacquiao? Well, Bob had already said why. Because he know Pacquiao would have got his ass whipped. He was trying to protect Pacquiao. In so many words. He ain't saying it like me, but that's what he was saying. And you as the promoter, that's not your mission statement. That's not your job to protect the fighter you want. And why are you doing it? Racial bias. Same reason why you wouldn't put Floyd Mayweather with Oscar De La Hoya. Racial bias. Same way you don't put certain fighters, you shelving a lot of black fighters and you bigging up Lomachenko and shit. Racial bias. You could just prove it all day long in his company. And they all but said something. What Bob didn't contend was somebody actually taking them to court. Some kind of way he got out of it with Floyd, because Floyd took him to court. I don't know what actually happened, because they've been mums to word about that shit. But Terrence just want what's his. And Bob I guarantee Bob said, all right, man, just $10 million out here, man. Nigga, he 15 now. He 15 million. I guarantee that Bob came at him like that. But Terrence said, no, I want a jury trial. He gonna get him for all kinds of shit. I mean, it is what it is. So I agree with his suit, and it's bigger than Nino, because that suit is going to be applicable to all fighters that come behind him, and especially if they were top rank, and especially if they black. So we should all, as just people of color, especially black people, should be hoping that Terrence is successful with his suit. I don't know why we would be mad, but that's just my thought on it. I know everybody else can see it differently. That's just how I see it. PGA said, but Bud said Bob got a good heart. Now he trying to sue Aaron. Bad business, but it's not bad business. Think about it. And I'm gonna push back a little bit on you, PGH, because he said Bob got a good heart. What do you say when the ops got the leverage on you? But, and I say this, and people probably be like, "What? You know, that don't mean nothing." Bud is a fellow Libra, and I can tell you, as Libras, because it never fails, we play the wall. Now I'm spitting some game here. Most Libras will play the wall. We don't get overly excited. We don't get underly excited. That's what we do, because we'll see the end game, and we are making moves the whole time to get us to that end game that we choose. A lot of times, people put the cart before the horse, and they mess up the bag in the long run. Of course, he's gonna say Bob got a good heart. Bob probably, it could be true. Bob could be the shrewd person that he is. I did a video on calling him Scrooge and shit. It was a funny video to me. But he could possibly be a person who encompasses all these things. I'll agree to that too. He probably do got a good heart. I'm gonna tell you what Bob do that the other promoters you don't really see do. You can count on Bob to have an all-black fight card. You can't count on Mayweather to do it. You can't count on Oscar to do it. You can't count on Eddie Hearn to do it. But you can count on Bob to do it. So even though he probably figured out a way to scam some money off of all of them, they still got paid though. They still got exposure. That Shakur Stevens fight, they had nothing but black folks. Wall to wall. Everybody else is not doing that. Remember that Juneteenth fight last year? Charlo was the only black person on Juneteenth. But Mauricio Suleiman, aka Mr. Cantone, sashay his ass up there with another belt that somebody got to pay some goddamn fee on it, I think. And if so, that's just crazy. He had a Juneteenth belt. But it was one black fighter. And you know, there's plenty of black fighters out there. Oscar shelves his black fighters. He only talk about Mexican fighters. Bob will give him that work. But Bob gonna have his piece de la resistance in his stable, and all them black fighters, he gonna grab them up, because that's part of his no black policy, black fighter policy. He gonna grab them up, because you could, when Lomachenko, I don't even know if he went to 135 when Terrence was there, but we can't never have Terrence and Lomachenko fighting. Who gonna win? Terrence. See what I'm saying? I don't know. And then when Bob gets mad at you, he feeds you to the wolves. But he will always prefer somebody white first, and then some Latino, and black last. But he don't need you causing waves and fucking up the potential bags that he can make as a black fighter, when you could potentially be against somebody that's white or Latino in his stable. So how he fix that? He grab all the black fighters and he control where they go and who to fight. That's how I see Bob. Again, I respect anybody who see it differently, but that's how I see Bob. You know, and Terrence is right. If you breach the contract, what do I do with that? If me and you got a contract and I hold up to my end of the bargain and you don't, then you breached it. And Bud is the highest paid welterweight for years. Higher paid than Spence. I'm talking about guaranteed money. And we can't really say, you know, pay-per-view like that's the guaranteed money, because that's speculative. You don't know from pay-per-view to pay-per-view how much money is going to be generated and come in. So you can't count what ain't there. But we can count guarantee. And so far in the last 3-4 years, Bud has been the highest paid welterweight over Spence, over a lot of people, over Ugas, over all of them. So when people say his business choices and this, that, and the other, I look at it differently. Now, me personally, I will never, ever, ever fuck with Bob Arum because the way he feel about black folks. But you know, sometimes it's what you're picking. Bud got the contract. His contract was better than Spence. His contract was better than a whole lot of folks. It is what it is. So is it? I know you said that's bad business. He does bad business, but do he? If money is the bottom line, do he? The Mac Mob is in the building. Blessed Miss T. Salute Queen. Okay, the Mac Mob. Look, B Mac. We on tonight. I'm waiting with the popcorn. Are we on tonight? That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Put this up in here. But a lot of, like I said, a lot of people, I don't know what the hell. I keep trying to put something in here. A lot of people, I know they feel the way they feel, but again, it's these narratives that come out and they get out of hand. And it leads, I don't blame nobody. I ain't mad at nobody. Again, I don't, I respect everybody's opinion, but I truly believe that I'm looking at it objectively. I'm looking deep into it. Y'all hit the like button if you come in, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Like and share. Just get them algorithms up. Stop reckless eyeball. I know I ain't said it in a while, about an hour, but y'all hit that like button, please. To answer the bad, like I said, to answer the bad business, I have to say Bud did good business. But again, I don't like him to be with Bob. I'm with you guys. Bob doesn't, it's just the way he is with black people. I wouldn't want no black person to go with him. None, not Bud, not Spence, not anybody. So, I vote no Bob, bad choice. But when it comes to business, every one of those men and ladies got to pick for themselves. I'm never going to stand up here. I don't know how you hate somebody for choices that they made for themselves unless their choice intersect with anything of somebody else. I didn't understand that part. Like when people like, I hate him for his business. And then they'll say, well, he was at Top Rank. And PBC don't do business with Top Rank. Well, who made PBC King Dingling? See, this is how my mind, I'm just talking, showing y'all how my mind will work. Who made PBC King Dingling? And like I said, according to Tim Smith, not in the past, present, or future were they ever going to give Bud the opportunity. So it wouldn't have mattered who he signed with. That's how I feel. And people say, well, he could have signed with them and he gave them the opportunity. Earl Spence is signed with him, and they shit on Earl Spence every day and twice on Sunday. They shit on Earl Spence or slap him in the face when they begging and damn near puffing on Canelo's magic stick, trying to give him $50 million to fight. But you can't give your boy a taste? You can't give Spence 20? He ain't good enough? I have to ask these questions. And I'm sincere when I say you can't give your boy a taste. Don't he do enough for you? Don't he do, like y'all said, the heavy lifting? Don't he do enough for you, PBC? You can't hook your boy up. The best you can come up with is $2 million guaranteed. That's the best? Nah, come on. Now that's wrong for Spence. The Mac Mom said Thursday night, Miss T, get your popcorn ready. I hear you can't. You know it. Extra butter, in fact. I'm gonna have extra butter. But yeah, I think about all these things. When I think about his interview again, as I said it earlier, you guys who's just chiming in might not have heard. I think he was being diplomatic. I think he was worried about the case because everything he say after the suit dropped can and will be used against him. I think that him and Earl have recently spoke. There was parts, if somebody wants to say, I told you he knew about the contract. I said all this shit yesterday, but I'll repeat it. When they said, when he said, I already knew, I took the already knew to mean he knew, like, how did I give an explanation? Okay, so you got kids, right? And you know your kids better than they know themselves. So, like, my kid would do something, I'd be like, I knew her ass was gonna do that shit. I just knew it. Or I'd be like, what you do? You went and did this? I already knew. You know how you say that about certain people? Because you know them so well, you already know what they're gonna do. Now, Bud said that shit in such a vague way that, was he talking like that? Or was he saying, I already knew the contracts were signed? Now, we had one of my guests, was I ain't seen him in a while, but Dwayne, he came through and he said that contract was already done after the Ugas Pacquiao fight. Well, that cannot be true. See, we can't drop logic when we want to, just to suit our needs. And that's all I'm saying. It's no hate against Earl. If Earl chose to go to Ugas, that's what he chose. But we can't drop logic when we want to. The Mac mob is in the building. See, like my mic went out a little. Can y'all hear me?
Miss T.
That's good.
Can you hear me, Queen?
Yes, I can. Let me turn this music down. I know some people probably like, got a loud voice. Let me turn it off.
No, it's all good. Salute to you, Miss Queen. Salute to you.
Thank you.
I'm just checking in. You know what I mean? Y'all hit the like button and subscribe to Miss T up in here. I'm just want to show a little love and see. I hear you talking about Bud in here, so I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. I'm looking at the comments and they talking business and this, that, and the other. What it seem like? What it do?
Well, I was just talking about. I got into the story where I had up there put his bid in. He's trying to sell it. I don't think none of this is a coincidence. Bud has his interview this past weekend, right?
Yes.
Spence gets in the ring. I don't know who fight that was. He went to some fight.
Right.
He gets in the ring and speak up.
Right.
Right. And now Ugas is trying to tell us that after I whoop Spence ass, I'm gonna make a beeline to Bud.
Okay. They just talking.
What I think happened is Bud recently talked to Spence, and see, because I didn't like him capitulating to what he had already said, and I said earlier in my show that no matter what Bud said in this interview, it does not negate what has already happened or what he has said in the past or they said in the past or what we already know to have happened. It's not going to change my calculus on whether I think Spence is ducking or not. It's just not going to do it. I find Bud right now to be somebody that got into his ear and said, you get more flies with honey, because he's in a conundrum. How is he going to get these fights? How is he going to get the Spence fight? How is he going to get the Charlo fight? Should they be victorious? A lot of y'all say he going to have to sign with the PBC. Remember on E-Thriller show, y'all was saying that and stuff. And so he's in that conundrum. So how do he get it? Well, you get more flies with honey. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you got to be diplomatic. So, being diplomatic meaning you offer compromise, you stand the other person's, side. You're not speaking ill on either side. You want everybody to be shown in a good light. That's diplomacy. And then I do think that Earl and him spoke recently, and he It's time for the Gipper, right? So after, I said the question that need to be asked is, Bud, you said you knew. You already knew. What date did you know? Didn't come
I
to
mean,
like
that's
the
a good
third
question.
week in December. Hmm?
That's a good question. On Bud could just be talking shit. I mean, me personally, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with a lot of it. But it's just kind of funny that he didn't come out and start saying this until after he filed his lawsuit. This is the first time Bud has spoken since he
Hmm.
filed the lawsuit. Before that, he was in the ocean looking for Earl Spence, and hey, hey, it was full on press, But once the lawsuit came in, this is his first time speaking, and since that part, he's switched up. One thing about when you in litigation is that you gotta watch what you say. You
Hmm.
got an ongoing contract. I mean, an ongoing litigation with Bob Arum, and if you come out there and say like, "Well, nah, Spence, you ducking, man. I could have had the fight." Well, then you contradicting everything that's going on in your lawsuit, because one of the things were that Bob Arum couldn't get you to fight or couldn't get you this. So you got to watch what you say and play it smart. And
Hmm.
to me, that's what I believe he was saying is that, okay, I'm just going to, you've seen it time and time again when somebody's had a litigation going on. They say, well,
Hmm.
they put a microphone in his face and say, well, we can't talk about that right now. That's what most of them say. Well, we can't talk about it. So, they asked him about the fight, and and that was one of the things. He just said, hey, you know what? Earl want to fight, and out this, that, and the other, and he put it on the promoters. He didn't put it on Earl Spence. He put it on the promoters. So I think that he was going down that road in reference to his litigation, that he
Hmm.
wasn't going to put too much out there, and that that's just my thought pattern. So that's the way I'm holding with it. But I don't see where Bud ever did no bad business.
That's what I said too. I didn't see the bad business, and I agree with you. This pending court case has a lot to do with it. That's another reason for diplomacy. When you're trying to achieve something, diplomacy is first
Right,
and foremost. I don't care whether you was in the military, you was in a regular job or whatever.
right,
Everybody be a diplomat at one point in time in their life, because
right.
diplomats play the wall and they play the middle, and so that's what everybody for the last 3-4 years would say that Bud was crazy or stupid or everything but a child of God. He was the smart one. He was the
Right.
smart one. He is the one. I think he's the welterweight who gets paid the most, even over Spence. You talk about pay per view because you don't know what it would be from time to time.
Right.
Look, and then this notion that black, I don't know why they, disregard this. Is said all the time in economics. Black people are the biggest consumers of everything in America.
Right, right. You definitely got a point there, Miss T.
Mhm.
It's kind of funny that because I heard you say this before I clicked on how everybody wants to think that PBC, whatever business they do, is good business, you
Yeah.
know. And it's kind of ridiculous to me when you come out and say those type things when you got to think about it. They say, well, PBC making all the money, this, that, and the other. The money's over here, the fight is over here. But if anybody looked at Keith Thurman's last purse against Mario Barrios,
It was 750, right?
750,000. So how's that good business? You know what I mean? What good business is going on right there? If that's how much money he getting paid, when Bud over here getting paid six, and
Hmm.
fours and threes all day. So, I mean,
Hmm.
what is good business? You doing pay-per-views at 1 and 2 million. Tank Davis 1 million guaranteed with pay-per-view backsides and this, that, and the other. But how is Bud's business bad business? Because he's working with Bob. These are narratives that these people come out here and they love the PBC and things of that nature, man. I really think these are younger guys out here that really don't know boxing, that say that they be talking in these chats. And it's just to me, it's not founded at all. I can't understand where you saying Bud got bad business.
Yeah, I mean, because I just look at the bottom line, the money. and it was good for him. It can never be bad business if it's good for them. It's bad business when he lose and the company lose and everybody around him is losing. He wasn't losing nothing. He was
Right.
always gaining. Mosquito spray is in the building. He said, Miss T and the Mac Bob in the house was
Mosquito, what's up, man?
Mosquito
Mosquito
spray.
sprayers up in this gym, my brother. What it do?
Yeah.
What it do, fam? Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So what did he lose? Let's see. He was a champion in 3 different weight classes. He was undisputed at 140.
Yes.
And he came into he's been a champion for how long now?
Oh,
He
ever
he
since 2000 and I think 14. I think it's about the last 8 years. I mean, he been
yeah,
champ,
like
ain't never lost. He ain't never lost the belt since then. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. Don't forget that he was Ring Magazine, 2 times Fighter of the
lineal.
Year, 2 times lineal champion. I mean, 3 division weight classes undisputed. I mean, the accolades just go and go and go and go. So I don't understand that either. But these are the fans of Earl Spence that we speaking of. Anybody that really hate Crawford, they just really fans of Earl Spence. That's pretty much how it goes. And if they're not fans of Earl Spence, they're a fan of the PBC. And I've never seen nothing like this where the fans have taken themselves out of boxing as a fan. So they're really not a boxing fan. They're a promotional company fan. They're a fan of a promotional company. And this is really unheard of in the sport of boxing, where we as fans, they gravitate towards the promotional company more than the fights themselves. Like, I can't see how there was no outrage when Floyd Mayweather came out and said, well, Tank Davis is not going to fight anybody except for folks in the PBC. So you would think, like, as a fan, you're like, hold up, what do you mean? Tank ain't gonna fight nobody unless he's with the PBC, because you got Teofimo Lopez out there he could fight, Vasily Lomachenko, you got Shakur Stevenson, you got the Oscar Valdez, you got Devin Haney, you got all these guys that's not with PBC. And if he was at 140, you got the Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez. Like, what do you mean? Like, where was the outcry from the fans when Floyd said that? Like, that's why they're fans of Floyd. They're fans of PBC, so they're gonna roll with it. Miss T, you missed the live last night. We was talking about that last night too.
Hold on, my speaker be messing up. I ain't catch the last part. You said I missed the live.
Yeah, we was on live last night about this last night too.
Lord, I looked for you guys. It didn't show. And then I think somebody I think E Thriller said, I'm gonna go on Tuesday.
I was on live. The mob was on live last night.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Look, I be getting everything hosed up. I gotta get better with that, because if you look at my show yesterday, I said I'm gonna mosey on over to the Mac Mob and all that stuff. And I was like, subbing and understanding and everybody,
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch y'all some kind of way, but I got to be there on that special day. We ain't gonna say what it is, but you say
I know that's right.
Say the subject, but we're gonna say that it's on Thursday.
Oh yeah, we're gonna chop it up. I started calling a couple of them out. We gonna chop it up.
Oh yeah, I gotta hear your voice. See, look, you got 2 different voices.
Yeah.
remember on Batman, the villain, Two-Face.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
you got that. You can see. I'm getting your pleasant, guy friendly, like
there you go,
all American voice, but shit.
But it's kind of rock. Yeah. See, I'm a Gemini. When you flip that switch and see the other side, there it is.
Look, I'm a Libra.
Right. Okay.
I'm a Libra. So Geminis, Libras, and Aquarians get along with each other the best.
I know that's right.
I knew it was something about you.
That's right. That's right. You know,
Yeah.
when they flip that switch, though, that's what's gonna happen.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
all good. It's
That's like
all
my
good.
nephew. Hmm.
That's it. It's all good.
Oh yeah. So like, in the end of the day, people, I ain't gonna be the death, but like y'all gotta, yeah, when it come to Bud and what he's done, you gotta ask yourself, what are you really mad at? Because it wasn't him who didn't try to have the fights. It was not him. If we learn anything about any of this stuff, it was not him. But you could say I give you this, you could say, well, he signed to Bob. But look at their contract when they re-signed. It was understood, obviously, that you're going to do or get me the fights that I want. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been that stipulation clause in the contract. We hear these things, but we don't connect no dots. Bud didn't just free Willie sign a contract and with optimism and hope that Bob gonna do the right thing. He was like, nigga, if you don't do the right thing, you got to run me this $1 million, and $1 million ain't chump change.
Well,
See
Miss
what I'm
T,
saying?
let me say this though, but they being hypocrites though. You understand what I'm saying? You can't say, well, he signed with Bob, okay, and that's the problem because any man or woman should be able to sign whoever the fuck they want to sign with. That shouldn't have no bearing on whether the fight is made or not. Okay, so if they saying, well, he signed with Bob, then where's the hypocrisy when, like I just said, when Floyd said that Tank was gonna stay and do all the in-house fights, y'all cool with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because all the other fights are not on the PBC side. So now you're being a hypocrite when you rock with Tank because Tank is doing it and he's not going over to the other side. Why y'all not saying Tank Davis need to go sign with Bob Arum or Eddie Hearn because all the fights are over there? You're not saying the same thing. So that him signing with Bob, what difference did that make? As a fan, that's business that should be done behind closed doors. There's nothing that should be sit out about well who this person signed with. It didn't matter that who Don King had and who Bob Arum had back in the day and things of that nature. They made the fight because the fight needed to be made and make the money. So that's just being hypocritical when you say well, he signed with Bob again, all the people over there at the PBC. Well, won't you tell Charlo to go sign with Eddie Hearn because Canelo and Andre and them was over there with the zone. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And Benavidez. But no, if it's a PBC thing, see, this is why I say these PBC nerds are kicked out here and done like that. And that's some bullshit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because then you think about this too. If signing with Bob is going to guarantee you no fights, you sign on the wrong side of the street. Well, who made PBC King Dingling?
Right.
Because
exactly.
The reality is PBC does do fights with Bob Arum, and PBC does do fights with the zone. They're far and in between. But why is PBC here in the rankings? I guess I'm got to be up here, and everybody else down here. Like, how come it's automatically everybody else's fault and it's not the PBC fault? Exactly. See, I'm looking at it from a fair perspective. PBC ain't no different than the zone. Ain't no different than Floyd Promotions. Ain't no different than Oscar or Bob Arum. They're no different. They're all promoters. They all get over in some kind of way, shape, or form of their fighters. They're all in it for themselves. No one is better than the other. No one side of the street is better than the other.
You got that right. You got that right.
So that's
you spitting facts. You spitting facts, Miss T. That's what I'm saying. You spitting facts. You know, they can't handle that.
I like to look at it differently, like a bigger picture, because, as a Libra, my scales got to be balanced. I swear to God, I live by that. Like, nothing can piss a Libra off more than an unbalanced scale. Like, we just can't function. And I just will never look at things that way, in an unbalanced way. Now, I did want to add to what I was talking about with Ugas. I said Josh Taylor, I predict, and y'all hear here first, Josh Taylor is probably going to throw a monkey wrench. Even this little bit of progress that Earl and Bud has recently made, because I do think that Earl and Bud has talked to each other recently, not last year, not last year, but recently. And I don't think, even though Bud said it, I have to take Bud for what he said, technically, so no debates. But I personally don't believe he already knew. I think he said it like, I knew Earl was gonna do what he was gonna do, because we know how Earl get down. That's how I took it. And to clarify once again, I don't think that Bud was talking about all black people or all black fans. I think he had some specifics in mind. The people who shit on him and talk about him like a dog, that's who he was talking about. And they know who they are, and he know who they are, because it's Bud country over here.
Absolutely. Anybody that took it like that, look, you a fanboy. I'm sorry. You a fanboy. I'm gonna just call it like I said. You a fan. If you took it as Bud talking down on his people, you a fanboy. Because I guarantee you the ones that had a problem with it is the same ones that probably called Bud Crawford some kind of name.
Mm-hmm.
They probably called him some kind of name, or said he ain't doing this right, or criticized him for something. The same ones that may say that, oh, well, now he talking down. I guarantee you they didn't talk down on Bud at some point. I guarantee.
In one breath, they'll be like, I like Bud. I still like, I'm a fan. No, you're not. You don't like him.
Right,
no, you're not. You can't talk about people like that and still be a fan. And I'm just being honest. I'm not going to call your name. I'm not going to say what you said, because none of that matters. You know who you are. If you talked about, and that's your right. Listen, I wore the uniform 20 years. 20 motherfucking years, so you can have freedom of thought, religion, press, speech, and everything. And I believed it then in the 90s when I joined, and I believe it today, and everything in between. So you can believe what you want. You can say, you can speak your mind. I have no problem with people's opinion. You ain't gonna make me lose no sleep at night, but you don't like the nigga. So let's keep it a buck.
Absolutely. Yeah, won't you keep it a buck?
Captain Full is in the building. What's good, G?
I know that's right. What's good, Captain Full? Yeah, absolutely. They don't like the nigga. That's why they say what they say. That's the whole problem. When it come to Bud, it's something different. You know what I'm saying? It's anything but Bud. It's always something. If you put up Bud Crawford right now in YouTube, all you'll see is 7 out of the 10 videos. There's gonna be something. Bud didn't do this, or Bud did that, or something against Bud. It's always something against Bud. You know what I'm saying? And they keep, they swear this boy can't sell. They swear he not a product. They say he not this, that, and the other, but oh my God, how many videos it's gonna be? But you know what? I'm gonna touch more on that on Thursday. But I ain't gonna get too much. But I'm gonna tell you like this, Ms. T. It's really crazy when you think about it, because for them to say stuff that they saying, and say, well, Bud did this and this, that, and the other. He talking down on blacks, but you black, you black, and you talking down on him. Like, what is that?
And then like, and correct me if I'm wrong, and y'all can check me because I'm not perfect. If I've ever been in here and I talk about Earl Spence and I said something derogatory about him, check me right away. Miss T, now that's derogatory. Miss T would course correct. Let me tell you that right now, because I have no problem with the man. You know what I'm saying? But judging him as far as in the ring, he ain't better than Bud Crawford. I don't care what anybody say. And that don't mean I need to hate him to have that choice or whatever. Right. I have freedom of choice as well. But if I ever say something, now I know some of y'all gonna say, well, Miss T, what about when you call him a nut digger? Is that a fact or fiction?
Yeah, come on, man. If he was punching him in the nuts, he was punching him in the nuts.
Is that fact or fiction?
Right.
I mean, I don't know what I mean. I could do the long sentence. I just chose to encapsulate it in 2 words: nut digger.
I know that's right. I know that's
I
right, Mr.
mean,
D.
but that's not me besmirching his character. What he looked like. I've seen people say, like I said, in the same breath, they like Bud, but then turn around and say, something derogatory about him and be laughing when they say it. And
Absolutely.
I mean, again, let me tell y'all, let me remind y'all, before anybody try to say anything, 1, I don't care. 2, I wore the uniform for 20 years so that each and every one of y'all and me, let's not forget me, they got their own opinion.
And I appreciate that
I respect that shit.
I appreciate that service too.
Thank you. That shit won't easy. Let me tell you.
Ain't no question. I appreciate it. I thank you for it. Absolutely.
Hey, thank you, King. I used to live up there in New Carrollton. Remember when Hyattsville was called New Carrollton?
Oh, no question. Yeah, I used to live over there on 450. That's home.
Yeah, and I worked at Office of Naval Intelligence and the NSA building. That's where I worked.
Okay, so you a home girl.
I'm from Richmond, Virginia, so all day.
Right, okay,
DC. I was in the IBEX motherfucking
all right, okay,
route. Who was that off of Suitland Parkway? That one club they closed down. Naylor
you talking
Rotel.
about right off? See, you talking about right off 51. You know what I'm saying? You talking about right off 51. You speaking my area now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hung out in Southeast DC.
Oh, yeah, no question. Yeah, that's why I said right off 51 liquor store right there in the corner. Right there. What are you talking about?
Remember the Juicy Lucy's restaurants?
Yeah.
That was my shit. So they shut it down. I was like,
they shut all that
shit down.
That See, I went to Tanf Elementary over that way. You know what I'm
saying? See? Like I said, it was called New Carrollton. Like you get off exit 22 and boom, you know, right there. Oh my God, the activist is in the building. What's poppin', King? I ain't seen you in a minute. I ain't seen you in a minute.
Who's that right there? I missed that.
That's my brother right there, the activist.
No, right there. That's Ant Kid.
Yeah, Ant Kid. I was about to read him up. Miss T and B Mac salute. My bad, I missed your show, Mac Mom, but I just heard the playback is fire. And that Darrell versus Yildren point was hilarious. Miss T and B Mac, keep doing what y'all doing. Most definitely, Ant Kid.
What's up, Ant Kid? What's up, baby? I appreciate it, man. You catch the next one, man. We're gonna do it Thursday, fam.
Yo, that's a must see, man. Y'all need to go right now. I'm gonna give y'all a second or two. Go right now and sub to the Mac Mob, sub to Bold and Understanding as well, and E Thriller, the Black Picasso. Y'all gonna have to have that in your life. You're gonna have, and the activist, you're gonna need that in your life because when you're on that road, you're gonna need a good life. He said he been out here on the road. Shout out to the activist. He just got his license. You know, he's trucking now. You know.
Hey, congratulations, fam.
Yes, sir. Hauling that important shit.
Yes, yeah. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations. Be careful out there, fam. Be careful out there. Absolutely.
Yes, that motherfucker stay strapped. I know that's right. I'm subscribe now.
I know that's right. Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you. You know, check us out on Thursday. We're gonna get lit again. You know what I'm saying? We that's how we do over there in the mob. E Thriller, Bowl, Miss T's. You know what I'm saying? Boxing Fan, Talk TV. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we get out here. You know what I'm saying? So y'all keep hitting that like button and subscribe so we can make it do what it do. Get them algorithms up, man. Cause see, there's some real boxing talk over here. All this other stuff that, you know what I'm saying, that just going on and on and on, pushing narratives, man. That's got to stop. So, you know, I wish some of them guys that was in here earlier was still in here so we could chop it up with them, but I think they gone. Yeah.
They probably did, but y'all please lean on that leezy when you get in the heezy. Reckless eyeballing. That and go subscribe to the Active Activist. You know what? B Mac. When I get
That's
off,
what's
it's a
up.
whole lot of people watching. Then coming here, and I couldn't tell you why. I would tell you that I do love boxing. I'm a big boxing fan. So even if one of y'all is in here, I'm gonna keep doing it because that's just how I get down. I always get my flowers one way or the other. But you got to be willing to work hard and get it from the mud. And that's the type of person I am. The Active Activist has his own channel where he talks about activism, like it could be Black Lives Matter or just anything about the current state of activism in this country right now. So you guys, I don't know how much he's doing it because he just said he's on the road a lot now, but that's what he does. So go subscribe to him too.
All right,
Active
now I
Activist,
got you.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get through most of this stuff. Spend some future plan. Okay, so we know that they all out there campaigning. It seems like they in unison. That is not lost on me. I don't coincidence. I don't really, get into coincidence all the time. And so when Spence do something out of the ordinary, Ugas is doing it around the same time, and Bud is trying to, talk outside his neck a little bit. I'm like, what's going on? What's really going on? So, WJ Luckett told me the other day, B Mac, that he think that Bud is about to sign a multi-million-dollar deal with PBC just to get those fights.
Yeah, that's my man WJ. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man WJ Luckett. Real talk. That's my man too, man. My man and kid, all of them, man. But I mean, if he do, then he do. I mean, at the end of the day, it don't matter to me. I don't care if Bud signed with PBC, even though I don't like their business practices, but I don't like a lot of business practice from Top Rank. I don't like how Eddie Hearn don't always get the fight for the fighters that he need to get them for. He hasn't got Andre to fight. He hasn't got Dehaney to fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a fan of none of those guys as far as the promotional company. So, if Bud, if that's what he feel like he got to do to get it, cool. If he don't do it, then I'm a rock with it. You're not doing it either, because at the end of the day, that really ain't none of our business. In reference to who cares? You know what I'm saying? Who gives a shit? Honestly, who cares where they sign with? As long as we get in the fight, that's all I care about. I don't care. That'll be good if he do. But let's just say he signed and then he got to wait 2 fights or something before he get the Earl Smith fight. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
Yeah, we don't pay to see Mr. Cantone, Mauricio Suleiman,
right?
Bob Arum Scrooge, aka Scrooge.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't pay to see them. We want the fighters to be at the driving seat, in the driving seat. The Active Activists say they talking about reparations. That's the hot ticket item right now. And WJ Luckett is in the building. What's popping, King? He says, salute Queen T and B Mac.
Hey, what's going on, WJ? My dog right there. What it do, fam? Yes, sir.
So B Mac, if they come out and Terrence sign that deal, then we know why all 3 of them acting like they act. As I said, it's always room. You know how they say, there's always room for jello. There's always room for diplomacy. It's always room. You gotta have that. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna get off there and back, because I know I probably hit the snooze button for some folks when I start talking about Spence. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta be honest.
Nah, do what you do. I'm just here supporting the show.
White has signed a contract finally. I guess $8 million is too much to give up. I try not to get into the money too much, but we knew about the purse play. Now I would say this: White, we could talk about how he avoided Deontay. He avoided different fights that he could have had, but some kind of way he put himself in the position that he was the mandatory. Rules make it 55-45 for that. That's what White was pressing for. A lot of people don't know that is in the rule book. But they could change, they could do what they want, and they 80-20 the nigga, so he gonna have to, 80-20. I mean, shit, 8 million, that ain't bad. I don't think he ever got that high of a pay. And he's gonna have to they gonna have to sell a fight. But see, they're saying that fight is gonna be in Wimbledon. And see, there's a couple of questions I have. I just want clarification. Fury is banned in the UK for boxing. That's what I thought. He has no license to box there, and you have to have a license. Why he don't have a license? Because the cheating charge was never adjudicated. And if White wins, his pay increase gonna go to 11-3. So I don't know how they're gonna have it in Wimbledon, in Smack Dab in
Wembley,
London, England.
You talking about Wembley Stadium?
Wembley, or Wimbledon. What is it? However they
Wembley,
say it.
Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, ain't that in the middle of hot England? That's White Town right there. I mean, how they gonna do that when
it's right there in London.
When they said that he has no license. I don't know how you cannot, if this is supposed to be happening in April. We in February. That's a couple of months away. That is not enough time to adjudicate that case.
So did Tyson Fury sign?
Yeah, Tyson signed. They was waiting on Dillian, and they had till yesterday. There was some deadlines. There are some deadlines that's coming up. And let me put this on y'all mind too. I could read off. I'll probably do it tomorrow, but Pro Bellum and Lou DeBella is now in bed together. Y'all know that that old guy that used to work for Oscar at Golden Boy. What was his name? Richard Schaefer, which is a good guy, good businessman, great businessman. But he started Pro Bellum. They were supposed to, just rectify some wrongs in boxing. They came out last year, somewhere around August, September time frame. People who were signed with him that you Grace jumped on that bandwagon, and they was promising that they were gonna get the fights that the folks want to see and stop all the bullshit, because Oscar's company, Golden Boy, wouldn't have been nothing without Richard Schaefer. Richard Schaefer is the one that ran that shit. Well, because Oscar was, he was preoccupied with his nose and fishnets and shit.
Yeah. He was doing coke and wearing fishnets, but
he was doing all that.
But the thing I wanted to go back real quick, Miss T, if you don't mind, is that Tyson Fury, he settled that case. He's free to fight.
When he settled it?
Yeah, he been settled that. You know what I'm saying? He settled that, and he's free to fight in the UK.
When did that happen? God, I missed the boat on that one.
You can look that up. Ring News. Let me see if you don't mind. I mean, I can look it up. I can read it for you if you want me to. But yeah,
was it settled? No, I look it up. But was it settled? He fought what's his name? Wilder in October last year.
All those fights was here in the USA.
Right, but was his the reason why he came to the U.S. trying to fight in the Middle East, because even before they fought, he was trying to say, "I go to the Middle East," because my understanding was they didn't adjudicate it because he dropped the case before they could really even get it started.
Yeah, well, he actually dropped the license, and he had to apply. He had to reapply. He dropped his license. You know what I'm saying? And then settled the issue and then reapply. See, he can now
learn something new every day.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah, because I mean, like you say right here, it says this is from Ring News. It was like Tyson Fury is free to resume his boxing career after coming up with a joint agreement with the UK anti-doping on Tuesday, and that was from December the 12th. To finally resolve the ongoing issue stemming from his drug test. So
now my microphone, my headphones. I'm getting new headphones, y'all. That'll be here this week. But
I know that's right.
To go in and out. You said on Tuesday. What date?
Okay, this was December the 12th.
This past December.
I believe it was this past December. It says Tyson Fury is free to resume his boxing career after coming to a joint agreement with UK anti-doping on Tuesday to finally resolve the ongoing issue stemming from a drug test. So, you know, that ban and thing, that I guess that's why they having it out there in Wembley, that they say that, you know, hey, he can reapply for his license and everything and go back out there and fight. So
I'm late to the party. Thank you for letting me know, because you know I'll be on here. And another thing.
It's all good. You know how we like receipts. You know what I'm saying?
Got a motherfucking, like, you know, I be out, hey, and I Shang-a-lang-a-lang.
Hey, they don't know nothing about that mod. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know about the mod little kids. I'm like, he ain't even adjudicated this shit and everything. What the fuck you think he doing?
Right. It's all love. It's all love.
Oh, you know, they be, you know. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, you know, there be rumors about Dillian White not, you know, playing on the right side of the court. Right, but I read an article. He has an Italian girlfriend. She's a cute lady. She's a beautiful lady.
Right. So you know, it's all good, you know, but you know, to each his own. You know what I mean? Honestly.
Yeah.
So his they already got it set for
April 23rd.
April 24th, right? Okay. So I mean, you know, hey, $8 million.
Tyson Fury gonna make 32, but the problem is, even Bob Arum has alluded to this, that he don't know how they're gonna do in the States. I don't think nobody care.
Oh,
I don't give a fuck.
I mean, see, that's the thing. Bob is alluding to it and this, that, and the other, because Bob, just like all the rest of these promoters, they worry about their pocket. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? Good. We want to see a fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a fight. You know, he's mandatory at the end of the day. They're getting paid. So we don't give a fuck about you, Bob. We don't give a fuck about you, Al. We don't care how much y'all getting paid. You know, ain't gonna do too good in the States, you know. You know, we wouldn't have to be able to do this. Man, nobody want to hear that shit, Bob. You know, make the fight, man. Look, you're getting $8 million, you know, 32 for Tyson Fury. You're gonna get your what? 15, 20, whatever, 30% that you're gonna get, whatever. You know, so be happy with it, Bob.
This how we feel about Bob, Eddie, Mayweather Promotion, all the promoters, pretty much, Oscar. And let me not leave out PBC.
Yay.
This how we feel about him. That's how we feel about him.
Yeah, I know that's right. You got that right. Because at the end of the day, shit, Dillian White only made $1 million. That was his biggest purse anyway. So him getting 8 is good.
The active activist said that article from 4 years ago. What you mean? The one we were just talking about, him getting his license and stuff back? I don't know. This an internet dude right here. This dude can find everything. I don't know why he ain't never opened up an internet company. You need to find something. This my go-to guy. But like, dude, such and such, such and such. And they could come back and such and such and such and such. We was in the Navy together. How this dude be finding the shit he find? Active activists say Tyson Fury resolves long-standing issue with UCAD, can now apply for boxing license. Hold on, Pat. Nancy, hold on, hold tight, man. You're gonna have to. I put the link in the chat. You're gonna probably have to come in and explain it. It's too much writing, because I know Tyson has always Tyson has always gotten in trouble for that type of shit, off and on, everywhere he been, right? Yeah. And so it may be possible that he was in trouble even then, and he had some unresolved issues on something else back then.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. Like when it comes to the damn articles and internet, this dude a beast right here. So I'm interested to hear what you got to say, the active activists. But I roll with what you said, B Mac, until we see something, different. I'll be looking, but I was just under the impression because I'm telling you, I've been out here like, motherfucker, that's bullshit a lot though. You ain't got no
Yeah, I
license.
hear. I know. Hey, but hey, Sports Nation is putting it up right now today. If you go to Sports Nation right here,
Okay.
January the 28th, 2022.
Oh, there we go.
They saying the same thing right here. So it's like,
Okay.
it should be noted that Queensbury Promotions Furry with top rank. Also, it's Queensbury top rank winning the purse bid. The end result of ESPN pay-per-view and BT Sports box office. I expected to broadcast Fury versus White. The fight is targeted for April 23rd in the United Kingdom. Fury's first home fight since the tune-up back in 2018.
Well, activists, see what you're saying. You talking about his drug addiction. We was talking about the boar's nuts. This nigga was eating nuts. Well, that's what he claimed. There's a lot of people on that nut train. I see. It's all kinds of nuts. It's like Podesto, I think Obama's second part of his cabinet. He said, "What you going to do?" He said, "I'm going back home." He said, I grow nuts. He said, "What kind of nuts?" He said, "All kinds of nuts." And they just looked at him like, "Nigga, you been in the cabinet, you've been all over the world touching all this power and you going home to grow some nuts." And he was like, "Well, that's a different kind of nut." That's a whole lot. I was dying. Y'all had to be there. I know B-Mac right there. When I was stationed in DC for 3 years, man, the Clintons was in control. Man, living was good. I don't care what nobody say. Living was good during the Clinton time. Y'all accept y'all won't.
Yeah, living was good, but some of the laws was bad. It was fucked up though. I mean, people was getting locked up over small shit. I mean, they was getting the crime, the punishment just didn't fit the crime in those Clinton years too. So, it was living good for your folks, but if you got caught up, for the smallest thing, they was putting folks away for a long time over the smallest shit. So I was just like, that's kind of messed up, man. I mean, but crime is crime.
DC is different though. Like y'all be falling under some root because it's the capital. It's like if you steal a pack of gum out of 7-Eleven and it's just a regular 7-Eleven on a lonely road or whatever, it's a misdemeanor. Ain't nobody trying to take you to jail. None of that bullshit. You probably get out with a warning. But you steal a pack of gum out of that same pack of gum out of a 7-Eleven. Like it's a federal building or next to like the post office is next door to it.
Yeah,
you gonna get some time.
Right.
So I always look at people don't understand it. Like you just don't want to fuck with the government.
But I know that's right.
I know what you alluding to, the crime bill. And my thing was always to say, first of all, it's a lot of crime bills out there. If somebody say something about a crime bill, I'm going to say which one. Because from 1900 to 1999, there's thousands of them, number one. And anything that those government officials like Joe Biden and all in the crew and Clinton and all them could have wrote, they could only write for federal shit. But y'all got to understand, DC, by virtue of where it is always federal.
No question.
It's just, you're going to catch it. You're going to catch, even if it's not federal time, it's still going to be handled like it's federal.
Absolutely.
But Joe Biden writing the crime bill don't affect Ray and Pookie and them that's locked up in the state prison.
Oh no, no question. Hey, nah, you can't be, I'm not sitting over here trying to protect nobody that's breaking the laws and shit. Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, your crime, you need to do the time. It need to fit. Your punishment need to fit your crime, though. You can't, if I stole something out the store, you know what I'm saying, even though that's bad, you can't give me no 10 years for stealing the t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, are you serious? Come on now, you know what I mean? So the shit was, it was just a little bad. But I like those clean years.
we got to be vigilant about voting for our governors and everything low ticket, because that's the shit
true.
that affect our daily life. And so
True.
if you letting these, because these governors are putting extra stank on these crime bills, is making it hard for the shit that a lot of people complaining about. That's a
So
lot
true.
of tweaking going on at the government level, because the federal government doesn't control civic and what is it, domestic shit. And that's pretty much everything.
So true.
The federal government is limited in their power. So a lot of people be mad and be mad at the wrong things, and don't be there. So the people be like, I'm not gonna vote. I just never understand it. Why would you hem yourself up like that? Why would you do that shit on purpose? I couldn't. I don't understand, because I'm voting for the dog catcher. Motherfucker, I gotta vet his ass for catching dogs in my neighborhood.
Right.
You know, so that's just how it is.
Yeah, you got that right. No, that's real talk. That's real talk, Miss T. Talk your shit.
Yeah, you know, I used to be into politics. I got a degree in politics and everything. That don't make me smarter than everybody. You got to say that nowadays, because sometimes I feel like it's wrong for a woman to have a degree in politics. Let these motherfuckers tell it, but ask me, do I care? I don't care.
Yeah.
But I needed a break after the Trump era. I needed a break. I've been on a break since last June in politics.
Right.
He said, true, we got to learn civics, just like we need to vote on these boards for these boxing organizations. It's Actamundo.
You ain't lying about that. You ain't lying about that.
Yeah.
Sanctioning
got to get some
bodies.
changes.
Oh God, Lord. That's why, that was one of the reasons why they made that franchise belt. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, damn, man, the corruption got to stop somewhere. It's like, because sanctioning fees, they vary by, purse. You know what I mean? So, that's why they wanted to give it to Canelo. You go ahead and keep this belt. This way you can't lose it. You can't lose it. So they can always get paid off them sanctioning fees. And Lomachenko, he took it. And I'm like, y'all gotta start. Come on, man. Yeah, come on with that. Y'all, you selling your soul out there. Don't be stupid. That's why I'm glad T-Bud was like, man, I don't want that belt. I don't want no fucking franchise.
Oh, yeah, he didn't want the French fry.
Hell nah. I don't blame him. Yeah, we want that. That ain't no belt.
I hear him. Hey, Bud don't disappoint. I'm gonna tell you, Bud, we love you. B-Mac B-Mac don't think that you was talking to him when you said the black fans. Do you, B-Mac? Let me not speak for you. Do you, B-Mac?
There's no way. He didn't even say that. That's what he didn't say. Black fans, nah. You know what I'm saying? It's the racial divide is already there, and we already, and that's that. Like I said, that's one of the topics that I'm gonna hit on this Thursday. But hell nah, bud. Nah, I rocks with you. I know exactly what you're saying, and everybody else know exactly what you're saying too. Like I said, these guys are fans of somebody else, so anything Bud say, it don't matter. They're gonna rock against Bud. Even, you see how they even switched up. They talked about Bud all the time, right? And then when he had the lawsuit, some of them was like, yeah, see, I told you about Bob Arum and this, that, and the other. Yeah, we knew Bob Arum wasn't in this, that, and the other. Bud, yeah, you should do this, Bud. And then they come right back and say, yeah, Bob, don't you got a lawsuit with Bob Arum? That's why the fight ain't happening with Earl Spence. He be like, hold up, dog. You was just with me just a minute ago, right?
You can tell when somebody don't really want to be with you or ride with you. And it'd be funny to me, but like you can see the agony in their face. But you know what? Like again, look, to all those kings, and see, I call everybody kings and queens. I put some spec on it. Until they show me that I don't need to, and I just do it first. I don't have no problems. I told y'all what I believe in: freedom of press, speech, thoughts, and whatever. You can speak it. I believed it then. I believe it now. So you not hurting my feelings when you say that. I hope that I'm never hurting anybody's feelings when I say what I want to say. Bud was talking to people who shit on him on a daily. Because to me, if you say you don't like him for XYZ and then you tell us what XYZ is and it's superficial reasons, nah, you pretty much is biased and you don't like that man for that. Like
Right.
I don't like how you tie your shoe. What?
Right.
I hate you. My mama used to say when we was young. I remember being young, and we used to be like, I hate that. I hate. And I didn't say motherfucker because I'd have been across the room, but I was like, I hate him, And she'd be like, you ain't been on this earth to long enough to know what hate is. And she used to always say that. She just said it plain and simple. That's what, parenting probably need to go back to. Just say that one sentence and keep it pushing. Let them figure the fuck out. Cause I walk away and be like, what the fuck you mean I ain't been on the earth long enough? I know what the fuck hate mean. I hate this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm like whoever I'm talking about. But she was like, you ain't been on the earth long enough. And then she said it often and often. And I think the last time she told me that I was in my 20s, you ain't been on this earth long enough. I said, well, damn, I ain't gonna never be on this earth long enough. But I'm glad she did it. Because nowadays I rarely ever say I hate anybody.
Right. Right.
So if I hate you because you went and did something that was detrimental to you,
Right.
Signing with Bob to me seems detrimental because he don't like black folks and it's the way he feels. In my opinion. So I don't agree with no black man signing with him. But signing with Bob makes fans hate him. That don't make sense to me.
The thing about that is this, we could say, because he hates black people and we don't like him and this, that, and the other, and I understand. But we're in a sport where, where it's corruption all over. You get fucked over by the black dude just like you get fucked over by the white man. So I'm really not trying to hear, but that, oh well, you got to sign with the black dude because the black dude is black, and why would you sign with that white man? Because let's be honest here, who was one of the most, if not the most crooked motherfucker in boxing? Don King, right?
Don King.
Okay, how many he fucked over? You know what I'm saying? He black. You know what I'm saying? So how many did he fuck over? How many black men he fucked over? You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson threw water on his ass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Mike Tyson wanted to punch him in his fucking face for the shit that he robbed Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? He led Mike Tyson down a road, which if he was with the white man, maybe he wouldn't have went down. When he was with Customato and them. So let's keep this shit a buck if we gonna really keep it a buck like that. You know what I'm saying? This sport of boxing, it is what it is. I mean, you looking at these people like right now, you say, well, let's ride with Floyd and PBC and Al Heyman. You don't know them. Floyd out for Floyd. Floyd is not out for him. Floyd ain't out for his people. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all need to stop. When it was time to ride, this, that, and the other, when let's just say, for instance, when that Gucci shit happened, the first thing that came out of Floyd's mouth was what? I'm going shopping. I'm my own boss.
I'm getting my Gucci.
I'm getting my Gucci. That motherfucker don't ride with y'all. He ain't riding for the black folks. So, do you know Al Heyman? No. You don't know what his character is. You ain't never heard him speak. He don't do interviews. None of that. So what kind of man do you even think he is? You have no idea. So why trust anybody? And on the thing when it came to Bud, though, Miss T, and let me just say this real quick. But Bud came out the dirt, okay? Nobody was checking for Bud. Bud didn't go to the Olympics. Bud didn't go out there and win gold and silver or bronze or whatever. He wasn't there. That Olympic trial, he ended up losing. He didn't go to the Olympics, so he got kicked out. I think he got kicked out from that fight. You know what I'm saying, that he had. And he didn't go. Earl Spence went, Oscar De La Hoya, Roy Jones, the list of Floyd Mayweather, everybody went to the Olympics. Okay. Floyd got his stuff from the Olympics. I mean, not Floyd, but Earl Spence got some pub from going to the Olympics, and then he went into camp with and had that sparring session with Floyd Mayweather. But Crawford came out the dirt. Okay, he had to fight his way to the top. He had got a shot with Tim Bradley being a sparring partner. Went in there and put that work on Bradley. Bradley was like, you need to sign this dude. You know what I'm saying? God damn, this boy can fight. Went ahead, got the fight. I mean, got the contract. And from there, the boy had went to 3 weight classes, 2-time lineal champion, Ring Magazine, undisputed. So you mean to tell me, why wouldn't you sign back? Let's just be honest.
Yeah. And
why wouldn't you sign back?
And Bob helped him get out of that sticky situation with that first promoter that he signed with.
Yeah, exactly, Miss T. Let's be. You gonna say, well, you re-signed with Bob? Hold up, man. The dude making money. He's gotten all this way with what he's gotten, and he's 4 other PBC fighters. Why wouldn't he re-sign with Bob? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Somebody please explain that to me. You know, I can understand why he could re-sign with him. You know, on promises.
See, I would never get mad at that. Like, that's my point. Like, I wouldn't have signed with Bob as a black person. I feel like, and I'm not a boxer. We will never know, y'all. But I feel like in my head, I would never fuck with no white dude like that. That you know, show me more times than any that how he really feel about us. I can't do it. I wouldn't have a good night's sleep ever. But
Miss T, that was
I can't be mad at the man for making that choice. I used to say it all the time for these last few years. I used to be like, look, there's something that's benefiting him, because you can't just say, you know, like let's say you go get a loan and your APR is big as hell, it's high as hell. Okay, but the payment that you got to pay is something that's worth it. Now, if you about money and you really hone in those type skills, you will make a better choice. And that's not the best choice. But if you need to get out of a man and there is nobody that's going to help you, you got to do what you got to do.
And that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? That's what he signed with Bob in the first place. Now, Mr. I understand you say, well, you ain't going to sign with this guy, this, that, and the other. But you got to think, Bud was getting treated right. Bud was getting treated right. So, I mean, if it's like, if I came to you and said, well, hey, you know what? I mean, you shouldn't mess with the activist, man, because he did this to me, he did that to me, and I ain't gonna rock with him, right? But he ain't never done nothing to you.
Right.
You gonna say, hey, man, look, hey, I'm sorry y'all don't get along, but he been rocking with me 50 grand out the dirt. So I ain't got no problem with him. You know what I'm saying? White, black, indifferent, brown, it really don't matter. See, what happened is that Bob knew that contract was about to expire. And Bob didn't stop talking greasy until right at the end, after the Kell Brook fight.
I remember that.
One more fight left.
I remember
Bob
that.
didn't say shit. He didn't say shit bad about Bud his whole time. After he re-signed, all that. And it happened right after the Kell Brook fight. When the Kell Brook fight happened, Bud had one more fight left on his contract. He started shitting on Bud because he didn't want nobody else to sign Bud. He wanted to probably try to re-sign Bud at a limited contract because nobody else will re-sign Bud and say, you know what? You're going to have to take a pay deduction because nobody wants you but me. That was Bob's fucking point.
Oh my God! Won't he uses some guy on girl tactics? I'm sorry, guys. He was using with that old school guy. Like, ain't nobody gonna want you but me.
Exactly. You know that's what he was doing.
Shit.
Think about that shit.
And Bud did what? Now let me tell y'all in the chat, and please hit the like button, y'all. It take a strong person. I'm gonna say it like that, but I'm gonna say go on to give him his props. Take a strong man, because Bud was eyes forward. He never looked to his right or his left. He just stood forward, and a lot of y'all called him a bitch, a punk ass bitch to be exact, and shit like that. For just he disrespected you right in front of your face, and hey, I heard that. I'm not making this shit up. Like some of y'all who said that. And I ain't gonna call your name, and I ain't gonna try to get way specific, but y'all did. But see, I look at it. I saw him for what he was. That nigga was playing the wall. You only get quiet like that when you know there's a bigger end game that these motherfuckers out here in the streets don't know nothing about. Trust me, I've played the game before.
That's right.
I was like, a Libra recognized another Libra. I was like, that nigga. And that made me look up his fucking birthday. I was in this bitch. Hold on. I got the sound effect. Hold on. Look, I think it's this one. Hold on, y'all. Excuse me if it's not the right one. But I'm telling you, I was like, wait a fucking minute. When I heard, I hope it's this one. Nah, it probably ain't. Excuse me if it ain't, but I'm gonna find it. Nope, that's not it. So it gotta be this. Look, it gotta be this one. Oh, it gotta be this one. B-Mac, this is how it was. When I was like, when I seen him eyes front, didn't break nothing. Like, you know, I like, wait a minute, when is nigga birthday?
I know that's right. You typing up some shit.
I like, this nigga a Libra. I said that can only be a Libra because I'm gonna tell you, there's so many times in the military, like you really want to put some pause on some. Look, the activists can tell you that I had to stand there and play the wall and look eyes forward, look beat, but shit, I got my motherfucking way. I saw that shit coming. I was like, don't nobody act like that because he got too much pride and ego.
Right.
To just sit there and let this old fool, because I'd be like, first of all, you old motherfucker, what the fuck, you know, something. Right. But I was like, but everybody else called him a bitch, and I was like, what?
Okay. Yeah, he did that.
Birdman said, loyalty would get you fucked up sometimes. Sorry, I wouldn't sign with him a second time. What were the benefits? Apparently, there wasn't any, but wasn't getting treated right. Bob is a snake. There was some benefits. B-Mac, you want to tell him the benefits?
Hey man, when you getting when you getting $4 million a fight, man. I mean, why is that not a benefit? I mean, speak to me. Tell me how that ain't no benefit. Guaranteed, no matter who you fight. How's that not a benefit?
Was the additive to the contract? You know, when he said, if I don't get the fight I want, or if I don't get an Errol Spence fight, which one was it?
Bob promised him. That's the whole thing about the lawsuit. Bob promised him a fight. See, he wasn't going to fight Mean Machine. You know, he was like, look, I'm supposed to be fighting Errol Spence. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know, this fight is coming up, this, that, and the other. You know, damn this. I don't want to be pulled in this because, you know, I want you to make this fight. But see, Bob he had to make that fight because ESPN was pressuring to make that fight. You got to make, you know, it's a certain amount of fights he got to have for Crawford to fight. So in the contract, he has to fight twice a year. And it was time for him to fight. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, look, nah, I don't want to fight him. I want to fight Spence. Okay. So he said, well, look, do this fight, and I'm going to get Spence this next fight. If I don't get Spence the next fight, I'm gonna give you that $900,000, an extra $900,000 bonus. So he took the Cavallouses to fight for them, but the $900,000 never came in. Plus, he put Bud on the sideline, and Bud didn't fight but once that year, in that calendar year when it started. So he missed out on the fight. That's where the money come in. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So now that's why he's suing him for what he's suing him for, because through his contract, he's supposed to fight 2 times per year. He put Bud on the shelf, you know, after that whole, you know, up to that Kell Brook. And then after that Kell Brook, you see how Bud only fought once a year. And he's supposed to fight twice a year per contract. So when you add the $900,000 and the contracts, you know, and the fights that he missed, that's where you come up with his $10 million. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and whoever wins, you're gonna pay the court fees and
So that's what he signed. That's what he signed for. Wasn't all, you know, this, that, and the other. And Bud just saying, you know, pay me my money. So, you know, when you say Lord, he can get you fucked up. I mean, I hope he got the same energy for Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? You know, I hope you got that same energy because Lloyd is definitely get you fucked up fucking with Floyd, being over there with Tank Davis because he won't ever get a Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Lomachenko, Oscar Valdez, Teofimo Lopez, because ain't none of them dudes on his side of the street. Josh Taylor. I mean, so do we got the same energy, Birdman, for Tank?
That's a good question. But Birdman, Bud did get benefits. Like I could tell you, I may be wrong, but B Mac will correct me because I tell y'all I can be wrong. And you know, I love to get course corrected when, you know, because that's the only way I learn. You know what I'm saying? But having said all that, Bud was the highest paid welterweight in the last however many years.
Oh yeah.
And that Birdman, that's a testament to his business choice, because signing with the PBC did not bring Spence more benefits than it brought Bud.
Don't nobody want to admit that. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. And that's no shade to Spence. That is no shade to Spence. It just is factual. He didn't get paid more than Bud. Now people say, well, I put asses in the seat. So I'm gonna tell y'all, we got this protest going on. I said this in the beginning of the show. And a lot of it, there may be some Bud fans that say, I'm not going to watch Spence. Maybe, maybe not. But I think most is bigger than Nino. So I think it's more so about PBC and the tomfoolery they doing lately. So come Ugas and Spence fight, when they do low numbers, you know, are we going to say that Spence is the A side? We're going to say, like, I'm just wondering what the narrative going to be going forward after that. It's just a relevant question, because this is why I will go back and say, I don't talk about the money that they make and make them the A side, B side. Spence is the A side because he has more hardware. But if you're the A side, you got to be the A side. This is like if you're the oldest sister, if you're the oldest brother, if you are the king in your house, you're the leader, then you have to do leadership type things. So if you're the A side, you have to come up with the contract. The B side don't come up with the contract, because if I come up with the contract and the investors, you are now forfeiting your right to be the A side.
Miss T, I'm gonna spit something to you, and I hear what you're saying, right? You know, this A side, B side thing and all that, right? That was the narrative that Errol Spence brought in when they started talking about the fight. Ain't nobody pulled that up but Errol Spence, right? So let me say this, and everybody ran with it. Let me say this, because you're a big Deontay Wilder fan, right? Okay. Now, you said that Errol Spence got all the hardware, so he should be A side, right?
I mean, technically, yeah.
Technically, yeah, right. Okay. Now, I don't know about with you, because I'm not going to speak for you, but I know all these Wilder fans they just like Spence fans. Wasn't they saying that Deontay Wilder need to have 50-50 when he was fighting AJ, and AJ had all the belts and Wilder had one?
That is true, my king. That is true. Look, I've been trying to avoid the money shit because
yeah, look. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling it. But it's amazing how when it's flipped, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You know, everybody was riding with King Wilder.
Y'all know, I let you get away with saying a couple of things about Bud, but I be like, wait a minute now, this is a Deontay Wilder country over here. Y'all know I'll be like that. And
that's right.
That is true. I did hear that. And the money, I try to get away from the money, because like I said, if Earl don't do good numbers this time around, is he still the A side? That's what y'all got to ask yourself. And so it should be more of a definitive reason why somebody's the A side. And then if you're the A side, that means you are the top dog. You're the creme de la creme. So you need to come up with the money. You cannot say you're your own boss when you got to turn to your daddy to get money. And I mean daddy figuratively, not literally.
Right.
So daddy meaning Tom Brown, daddy meaning PBC.
Right.
It ain't your money. I say that for
Right.
Devin Haney too. You got to turn to Daddy, meaning Eddie Hearn. And Eddie said that shit to Teofimo Lopez Jr. and Sr. to their face, and that shit seemed like it went over their head. Eddie was like, "Yeah, and I'm gonna put my stake on it. Yeah, you the boss, you the man. You know how y'all dap up. You the man, you the man. But a real, nigga, the money coming from over here, so you already know what that means." And then it was like, ha ha ha. Totally missed it. I caught it. Nigga, I put up this money.
Exactly.
So you fucking with this pimping.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That went straight over their head.
Exactly.
That's
why I don't mess with none of the promotional companies. I'm like you. I don't want to get tied into all this, what money we get. Bud should take the 40. Like, man, why Earl doing all the heavy lifting? He's doing all this. Bud should take the 40. Man, nobody Errol Spence to fight all these guys. The heavy lifting was something that Earl Spence wanted to do. That ain't something that Bud wanted to do. He was
That's
like, let's fight.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Earl
another
Spence
fact.
talking about fighting all these guys. That's heavy lifting is done on your side, fam. That's why it's ducking. Putting all this, all the narratives out about 70-30 and 60-20, this, that, and the business out in the street. That's why it's ducking. We didn't hear nothing about Ugas, right?
I still don't know.
Right. We didn't hear nothing about Mikey Garcia when they were talking about Danny Garcia or Sean Porter or none. We didn't hear no negotiations about none of that was happening, because that's why everything was behind closed doors. The minute you jump out there and you say what you say, now that's when you know you ain't about to fight him.
And guess what? We still don't know about who paid and how much Stanionis, to Stanionis. I'm curious to know what that was.
Right.
And I know it didn't go down to the third week of December. So that's why I say you got to take what Bud said with a grain of salt. And y'all can be like, well, he flip-flopping and this, but so did Spence. I went through that again with the video. Go talk to Jeff Horn, then holler at me. I'm here. I talked to Jeff Horn. Well, I'm gonna clean up my side of the street. I'm gonna take the easy route. Sean Porter, Ugas was not on that easy route at the time, and then I'm gonna do that. Then it's like I'm the big fish. Then you go fight Danny Garcia. Then you say, stuff like, I don't hold. The point I'm making is, I don't hold Earl's feet to the fire on most of that stuff. Like when Earl said, I don't need a tune-up, that's for people that's not sure of themselves. He put down a lot of people when he said that. I hope y'all realize that. But I didn't hold his feet to the fire, because I know I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. He wasn't thinking he was putting people down. He was thinking he was bigging himself up. But he wasn't thinking. That's what my daddy was saying. It don't matter what you was doing, your ass won't think it.
Yay.
Because you was putting people down when you said it, and then you turned right around and did a what? Who's the tune-up between Bud and Ugas? Who's the tune-up?
Oh, yeah. Between the two is Ugas.
So you not only doing something different than what you said.
Yeah. People gonna say, well, Ugas ain't a tune-up, he a champion. He's a champion, right? And I'm like, okay, well, what's the difference between Ugas and Jeff Horn? Because y'all call Jeff Horn a bum. He beat Manny Pacquiao. Well, so did Jeff Horn.
Who did Ugas fight?
Yeah, right.
See, this is what I'm saying. And I try not to hold Earl's feet to the fire about all of that. That's why for the longest time I just kept saying, they both say stuff out the side of their neck. It's boxing. These are young men. Me and you older than them, Bo-Max, so we can see it a mile away.
Right.
We can see it a mile away. But, these are young gentlemen, they learning as they go. It was like y'all all say something and do something else. So if I'm gonna arrest one of y'all for it, I gotta arrest all of y'all for it. So I tried to be in the middle and be diplomatic. But then when Tim Smith came out, I was done.
The problem though, and I don't want to offend nobody on here, so I don't want y'all to take this the wrong way, y'all listening to it. And this ain't for everybody. This for the only ones that is applied to. A lot of these young guys out here, You can't tell them nothing. See, back when I was coming up, we looked up to the older dudes. You know, they came before us. You know what I'm saying? We would when what they did, they set the pace. We follow behind, and the dudes behind us supposed to follow behind that. You know what I'm saying? We set the pace. You know what I mean? So, you know, the thing about it is this new generation right now, they think they know it all. And it's like, bro, hold up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah. You know, we say, well, rap music, this, that, and the other. See, it's a little different. When I came up, you know what I'm saying? My peoples didn't have rap music. You know what I'm saying? It was R&B and soul and love and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? But that rap,
Brown.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? But in my generation, we grew up with rap, go-go, and that was our thing. You know what I'm saying? So now, when y'all start talking about rap, hold up. It ain't like it's a generational gap. It's like, nah, we know rap. So the shit y'all out here spitting like mumble raps and all that ain't that's some bullshit. I don't want to hear that. That's bullshit. I
Like
know that y'all like what they like,
gone.
but you can't tell these youngins nothing, man. I had a youngin on the live last night. Oh my God. Couldn't tell 24 years old, couldn't tell him nothing. Oh my God. I mean, no matter what but that's why Ann could put that thing up in there when I had told him and shit. That's like, you can't tell him nothing. You know what I mean? He won't even sit back and listen to a dude that's older than him. And I think that'd be a problem sometimes, is that it's all right not to know. I'm damn near 50 years old. But Miss T, I ain't got no problem telling you, well, you know what? I don't know the answer to that.
We played in the same playground because I am 50 by a couple of months. So
yeah,
we the same sandbox, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't know everything. I'm still growing. One thing you realize when you get a certain age, you realize you're still growing, and then when you look back and see this, because most real talk, our kids are probably these young people we talking about, and I can tell my kids are, and I be like, you don't know a goddamn thing. I be saying that shit all the time in my head.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Yeah.
But I say, was I like that?
in some parts we were like that. You know, in some instances we was like that. I know when I was young, I was sitting there when I was about 24 years old. I'm sitting there like, man, yeah, boy, I know I got this thing down, man. You know, it wasn't like on everybody. I was like, man, I'm grown, man. I know what's going on. By the time I turned 30, I look back and say, shit, when I was 24, I ain't know a goddamn thing. You know, I was like, but I got it now. And when I turned 35, I was like, shit, man, when I was 30, man, I thought I had it. I ain't know a goddamn thing. I was missing some shit, you know, and it keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's that's only in your 40s you kind of mellow out, be like, you know, because now I'm 50, I'll be like, I still feel the same. Yeah, I knew what I was doing, you know. But shit, all the 30s, all the 20s, I be like, I ain't know a goddamn thing. I was playing it by ear.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And thank God he was walking with me the whole time, you know.
Absolutely.
I ain't know
absolutely.
nothing.
Absolutely.
But B-Mac, look, I know I'm look, I could go on and on and
I know that's right.
All night for real, but E-Thriller coming on tonight, right?
Nah, E3 gonna take a break tonight. We might go up tomorrow night. But I know I'm definitely gonna be going live Thursday. I got some more homework to do, and yeah, because you know, I gotta get ready for Thursday's show, man. But ma'am, but yeah, you know, I understand because hell, it's getting late, and I'm about to chop it off and you know, get me some rest too. It's always been a pleasure being on the show. You know, shout out to everybody in the chat. You know what I mean? Birdman included, man, the active activists, everybody. You know what I mean? Salute to y'all. You know, if y'all get a chance, man, y'all subscribe up to the Mac Mob, man. I appreciate it. And Miss T, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe to Miss T. Boxing Fans Talk TV. She does it all, not just boxing. If your ladies out here listening, she got a women's section on here too. I think she do on Sundays. So y'all need to rock with her.
Fridays in the wellness show on Sundays.
Wellness show on Sundays. I know that's right. You know what I'm saying? Wellness show on Sundays. So, you know, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe because she does it all. and I appreciate you for letting me come on and chop it up with you.
Anytime, and I know y'all have y'all shows sporadically. I'm trying to do my show in time where I get off, and then when you coming on.
Okay.
So that's what I've been trying to do, because you told me your time. So if the train moving and we can't hit the emergency brakes, we gonna keep.
I know that's right.
but then I'm gonna always make a concerted effort to get off. But stick around, because it's Black History Month, and I gotta do my Black History Month moment.
You got that right. You know what? You're absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you what, me and E are going to get together, and we're going to sit up here and devise a little plan on which we're going to do per week. You know what I'm saying? And kind of have some kind of little schedule going on, because we kind of really need that. So I know he real busy with his thing. So we're going to figure something out, and then we're going to get with you so we can all be on the same page.
Yeah, we're gonna have to back to back.
I know that's right.
Doing the
sexy. I know that's right. Miss T. Hey, Miss T, you got to hit my video from last night. When it come on, you'll see what I'm saying.
All right, I got you. You know I'm gonna watch good for the replays too. I can get the popcorn for that too.
I know that's right. Yeah, I know that's right.
Y'all look at this beautiful queen on the screen right now. Who that may be? Who is that beautiful?
That is Miss Cicely.
Miss Cicely Tyson. Cicely was born in Harlem, New York. That's right, Harlem, New York, where she was raised by her devoutly religious parents from the Caribbean island of Nevis. Her mother, Theodosia, what a name, was a domestic, and her father, William Tyson, was a carpenter and painter. Now, this is just me throwing my stink in it. His last name was Tyson. They both from New York. You think they was some kin, long-lost cousins or something? I don't know. I was just throwing that out there. Was she some kin to Mike Tyson or something? Same last name, both from New York. She was discovered by a fashion editor at Ebony magazine, and with her stunning looks, she quickly rose to the top of the modeling industry. In 1957, she began acting in off-Broadway productions. She had small roles in feature films before she was cast as Portia in The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. For years later, Cicely was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress for her sensational performance in critically acclaimed film Sounder, which was in 1972. And y'all know that a Black actress never won the Best Actress Award, Academy Award, until, what's her name, Halle Berry, for Monsters Ball so many years later. But Cicely was at least nominated, and that was a big thing to even get that far. In 1974, she went on to portray a 110-year-old former slave in the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, one of my favorites, which earned her 2 Emmy Awards. She also appeared in the television miniseries Roots, another favorite, in 1977, King in 1978, and A Woman Called Moses, another favorite, 1978. While Cicely has not appeared steadily on screen because of her loyalty to only portray strong, positive images, of Black women, she is without a doubt one of the most talented and beautiful actresses to have ever graced the stage and screen. And y'all, this is probably a more recent picture of her. And that's 96. That's what 96 will look like. Because, she died in 96, or at least that's what the 90s will look like.
Right.
Giving a new meaning to the word Black don't crack. Okay.
You got that right.
Okay.
You got that right.
Beautiful. Excellent. Strong J.
I know that's right. Strong J.
Strong J.
You got that right.
Listen, I can't even do this girl. I'm sorry, not girl. Queen Justice. She has her handprints in that. I guess outside the Chinese Man Theater, where they do in Hollywood. I'm sure she got to walk on Hollywood. A star down there. The woman is beautiful. She do play strong roles, and her movies are timeless. You know what I'm saying? And you know who kind of to me, pick up the mantle a little bit because Cicely didn't care what you thought. What you thought. She knew she was gold. She knew she was beautiful. She knew she was fierce. She let herself look like whatever, and she was beautiful in that. When you look at Roots, you see that hairdo that they had on her.
Right.
How many of us sisters could even let somebody do some shit like that to our hair? And that was real.
Yeah, you ain't lying about that.
That was real. You know what I'm saying? Or just how she stripped down the makeup, it just was her. But y'all know this woman was a queen every day, all day, and twice on Sunday. She was always looking good. Beautiful
Absolutely.
Black princess that she was. And of course, grew into a queen. And she did, take heed to the roles that she took. She just won't take anything. You know what I'm saying? And she recently died last year. I think it was January of 2021. She was with us 96 years, looking fierce. And being fierce, So shout out to Cicely Tyson. There's more. I could go on and on and on. She is one of my favorite fighters. I can go back and look at any of those movies I've listed. And then we're not going to even talk about the Tyler Perry movies. Everything she touched turned to gold. So to me, I can go back and look at all of them. Roots.
Hey, I'm going all the way back to Bustin' Loose. All the way back on up, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Busted Loose. That was the ticket,
you know
right?
What I'm saying?
And no matter what she did, it was just classic. She was married to Miles Davis. How much culture can you get?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes, indeed.
You can't get no better than that. So, Cicely Tyson is one of my favorite actresses. I like her for the example she set and just who she was, and the person to me I was alluding to that kind of seemed like they pick up that mantle is the lady what's her name that playing How to Get Away with Murder. What's that chick name?
The lady I didn't see that movie. How to Get Away with Murder.
Why is I'm drawing a blank. Let me one quick look. Hold up. How to Get Away with Murder.
I never seen that movie.
And y'all, I can type 65 words a minute. I was thinking about that. Yeah, I was.
Come on, Queen.
I was thinking about that when I was typing that shit. How to Get Away with Murder. Who is what's the lady name? She beautiful too. What the hell's her name? Viola Davis.
Viola Davis. Okay.
Now let me tell you, that Viola can look a sight.
Yeah, I hear she's gonna do. I think she's gonna play a part as Michelle Obama.
Yeah, is she? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did see some kind of commercial with that. Viola Davis could come on the set and they be like, makeup. You know what I'm saying? But Viola Davis is beautiful and she can bring herself down. I'm thinking about Antoine Fisher when she played his mama. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
And just other movies where she playing the hard look. Pick up Cicely's mantle and run with that Viola, because I done seen younger. She is beautiful. Hey, what do I know? So
you know what you know.
And if you don't know, then you know, nigga. Oh Lord! Don't give me the quoting motherfucking rap songs. I was in here. You remember that MC like, "Goddamn hoe, shut the fuck up."
Yeah, that's
man, that was my joint. I was in here like every time I can. Yeah, every time I could put a rap song or some movie clip or whatever into my sentence or whatever I'm saying, in real time. Oh, I live for that shit.
Right.
That's funny
make it
to
do what it
me.
do.
Hell yeah. But y'all know how we get there. When you know better, you do better. I thank all of y'all for joining the show. And Cicely Tyson, we will miss you and always love you. And yeah, salute to her of being an icon for Black History Month. So peace.
Peace.